Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams.
Today we're talking about Robbie's fifth album, Escapology, and his Weekends of Mass Distraction tour of 2003, which includes the legendary Knebworth shows. And our special guest today is Katie, back from episode 2. Hello.
Hi, Katie.
Again.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's very good to have you back again.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
So obviously we talked about a lot of your Robbie experiences last time, but I don't know whether you've thought of any others that you might like to share or anything else that comes to mind.
Oh, there's many. How long have you got? I don't know. I mean, for that particular time frame, but I guess we're probably going to talk about those given
we'll talk about
Knebworth coming up.
Yes.
So yeah.
Also, I'm interested to know whether you are a Rude Box lover or not.
Oh.
What, the album or the song?
No, the album.
I do like it.
You do? Good.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. There's only one or two that I'm a bit like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, most of them, yeah, fully on board with.
Good. What about Rude Box, the song then?
Yeah, no, I quite like Rude Box, the song.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd ask you that.
Oh, no, okay. Is this a poll that you're running?
No, just because it's a sort of controversial sort of album, the one that people slag off in the critics. I'm just
it's the one
interested
some
to know.
people love to hate, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we like it. I like a bit of Rude Box, the song and the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the album. There's some good, strong songs on there.
Yeah. Also, I wondered what your favourite B-side is that he's ever done. Do you have a favourite?
Yes. Get a Little High.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's actually...
Random one, but yeah, I love it.
Well, it's actually like almost on Escapology as well, isn't it? Because it's on the American version.
It's the American version, yeah. Yeah. I'm slightly jealous that they got it on their main album.
Yeah. I also wondered whether you have a favourite duet.
Oh, I don't know,
Well, because I was thinking obviously there's Kylie, there's
Nicole,
all the Christmas ones like Tyson Fury and
I did quite like that is good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And it is nearly time for that album again as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although as this airs, Christmas has just gone. We're now in January.
Yeah. Katie's still playing it though.
I'm still playing it in January, exactly, Matt.
Exactly. Still got the Christmas decorations up.
Oh yeah, all the way through to November. Have you got a favourite duet, Lucy?
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Do you?
Well, it'll be one of the Kylie ones. The Kylie one.
Yeah, it'd probably be Kids, I imagine. Yeah. Just because I love Kylie.
Fair enough. It is a good song. It is a great song.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Something Stupid. Nicole Kidman.
Oh, right. Okay. That's a good
Video's
one.
quite good.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I don't know, there's some loads though, isn't there? That was one that sprang to mind, but there were a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously there's, quite a few duets on Swing that are good as well.
Yeah, the Ollie Murs one is quite nice. I like it just because it's Ollie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd ask you some different questions, seeing as we've spoken to you before.
Oh, thanks, Lucy.
Okay, so shall we talk about Escapology then?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Okay. So it was released on the 18th of November 2002 and produced by Guy and Steve Power again. It was number 1 in the UK for 6 weeks at the time of its release and a further 1 week after Knebworth. It was in the top 10 for 14 weeks, top 40 for 33 weeks. It's Robbie's 6th best-selling album in the UK with just under 2.1 million sales as of 2019, making it 6 times platinum. But it was the best-selling album of 2002 in the UK.
Ooh.
Considering it came out on the 18th of November, I think that's quite impressive.
That's very impressive. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither did I until I was doing this research. So Escapology is Robbie's best-selling album worldwide with nearly 8 million sales. It was also number 1 in Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands, Finland, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Norway, Portugal, Sweden and Switzerland. And it's number 2 in Argentina, Italy, Australia, France, Mexico, New Zealand and Poland.
Wow.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. It's no wonder it's his best-selling worldwide. It was also number 43 in the US Billboard Hot 100. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good for US, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty high, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in 2003, it was the best-selling album of the year in Austria and the Netherlands, number 2 in Denmark and Europe overall, number 4 in Germany, 5 in Finland, 8 in Italy, 9 in Australia, 10 in Switzerland and 27 in the UK. Escapology went 5 times platinum in Europe, Australia and Switzerland, 4 times platinum in Germany, Denmark and Austria, 2 times in New Zealand, and platinum in France, Poland, Sweden, Belgium, Finland, Argentina and Portugal. It also went gold in Canada, Spain, Greece and Hungary. In Germany, it was the 5th best-selling album of the decade. Escapology heralded a new era for Robbie. He took a more active role in its creation, giving an indication of its growing confidence in the studio. Robbie wanted the sound to be raw, raunchy and honest, without overproduction, saying, "I know what I don't want, and it's the over-perfection of Sing When You're Winning." Steve Power said he did dictate the whole tenor of the record. He didn't want things to be made slick. Perhaps we over-egged some of the tracks on Sing When You're Winning, and he was keen to get back to the way we recorded on the first album, a more raw feel.
The album came out weeks after Robbie signed the biggest recording deal in British music history at the time, 80 million with EMI for 4 new albums plus 2 greatest hits. Rob gave his famous "I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams" comment at the press conference announcing the deal.
He actually said, "I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams." That's
Yes.
what he actually said. Come on, Lucy. Okay.
He actually stayed with the same record company, saying, "I want to continue to break records and make records with EMI." Adele broke his record with a £90 million deal in 2016. That Adele.
Oh,
eh?
how rude, Adele.
Bloody
Yeah. Rob told VH1, "At the point of making this album, I genuinely thought it was going to be Robbie Williams' last album as Robbie Williams. At the beginning of the year, I'd sort of had it with all things Robbie. Basically, I'd just been working too hard and I needed some time off. We wrote 4 or 5 more songs, and it went from being an okay Robbie Williams album to tremendous, the best album I've done, full stop."
I never enjoyed the process of recording. I've always found it very boring, but the Swing album changed all that because it was just amazing. And I thought it's just a shame that recording my own material can't be this much fun. Then, blow me, if this hasn't been as much fun as the Swing album, it's been amazing. The Escapology band featured Guy Chambers, Neil Taylor and Gary Nuttall on guitars, Phil Spaulding on bass and Jeremy Stacey on drums.
Rob's given various explanations for the album title, Escapology. The original idea was Houdini, as he was staying near his house in LA, which caused him to think about escapology. Later, he realised escapology contained the word apology and said, "That's me all over, me apologising for my escape," and used that as an explanation. He also claimed, "The escape is just escaping from killing Robbie Williams off. I've actually managed to claw back, in my own mind, enjoyment for being me."
I like a bit of magic, so quite
Yeah.
like the Houdini
Houdini.
reference
Yeah.
there. The album sleeve was shot off of one of the tallest buildings in LA, 54 floors up, by Tom Hingston. Rob said in You Know Me, "I wanted to actually do it. It was definitely a life experience being hung upside down off the top of a skyscraper. I was probably up there for 5 or 6 minutes at a time. It felt good. What was worrying was the fact that there was no crash mat below. You feel a bit Evel Knievel-ish. That was when I did things like that. I've become not that person anymore."
A different version of the album was released in the USA 6 months after Europe. Song 3, Hot Fudge, Cursed, and hidden track I Tried Love were removed and replaced with Katie's favourite, Get a Little High, and One Fine
Yay.
Day. Interestingly, the removed songs were the ones that UK critics had said were clearly only written for the US market. The running order of the tracks was also changed, opening with Feel. Robbie changed record companies in the USA from Capitol to Virgin for this release.
The Guardian gave the album 3 out of 5 stars, saying, "In Europe at least, Escapology's fate is sealed. Its songs are buffed to perfection, instantly hummable, destined for the same ubiquity as Angels and Supreme. But Europe is clearly no longer the point. On Escapology, Williams does everything but get down on his knees and beg America to like him. The question of whether they will respond looms over the album, but even that is drowned out by the question, was that 80 million well spent? Against all this, the music doesn't stand a chance." The Daily Telegraph said, "Robbie has proven his detractors, in brackets, I have been among them, wrong the best way, by making pop that is fascinating, refreshing, and suggests, despite his own apparent doubts, that he is worth every penny EMI have paid for him." I wasn't among them, by the way. The Daily Telegraph.
Yeah, that was the writer of the
reporter
Daily Telegraph.
was
that
among
said
the detractors. Just to be clear. Don't want to be quoted in that way.
True. NME gave it 2 out of 5. Now this is some weird quote. Wait for this. Like Eminem, Williams is desperate to give his own spin on tabloid coverage and determined to prove himself as human as the rest of us, but incapable of letting us forget he's a star. Except Eminem is the voice of a generation, while Robbie Williams is just the voice of Robbie Williams. And while Eminem has Dre, Robbie has a ramshackle posse of musicians roped in to create this album's, wait for it, spontaneous live sound. This presumably is for the Yanks, as are a couple of on-the-road tracks set stateside, like Hot Fudge, which sounds a little like the songs that broke Elton John in America. But Robbie's not the Elton of this setup. Guy Chambers is, or was, until Robbie sacked him. Big mistake, because Robbie's more like songwriting's answer to David Furnish, and every time Chambers presents a decent tune, Come Undone, Sexed Up, the single Feel, there are plenty here, Robbie turns up with a trite couplet and wrecks everything. Sorry, but that quote made me so angry.
Meow.
And so I've actually picked apart the quote. The first thing, Guy had nothing to do with Come Undone, so they got that wrong. Number 2, Hot Fudge wasn't included on the US version, so clearly wasn't written for the Yanks. Number 3, saying Robbie is like songwriting's answer to David Furnish is ridiculous. The reviewer clearly didn't notice that he'd written Nan's song all by himself. Number 4, you can't argue with popularity. Well, you could, but you'd be wrong. This was the best-selling album of 2002 in the UK, so plenty of people disagreed with NME's trite. There you go. That's what I think for their quote.
At least he's on
In
our
your
soapbox.
face, enemy.
Yeah.
Idiots.
And they were wrong.
They were wrong, yes.
Yeah. So
Clearly.
Rob won Best British Male at the 2003 Brits, Best International Male at the Italian Music Awards, Favourite Male Artist at the MTV Asia Awards, Best International Male at the NRJ and Echo Awards, Best Male at the TMF Awards, and Best Live Act from Q Magazine. He received nominations for Best Album, Best Male and Best Pop Act at the 2003 MTV EMAs. He was also nominated for the Best International Pop Artist at the MTV Latin America Awards.
And there you
Quite
go.
a good run of awards.
So that's the summary of Escapology. What do we think of that? Interesting.
Yeah.
Katie, got anything to say?
I very much liked your rant. I feel like you should have put it in writing to Enemy magazine.
Maybe I will.
I think you should. 18 years later, but hey ho.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It still annoys me, Enemy, so
Yeah.
therefore.
Oh, they're up their own arses, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what do we think of the cover of Escapology? I really like it.
Yeah, I love this cover. It's completely different to kind of previous ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, we're going to talk about it later, but obviously it's massively Knebworth-esque as
Yeah.
well, because obviously that's what he opened with, was that almost that exact replica, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very clever device, very clever setup actually, to be able to use it on the album cover and then, like you say, on stage. And yeah, I love it. I think it's eye catching, isn't it, when you
Yeah.
see that front cover, because you don't often see a lot of pop stars dangling upside down by their feet, and
Yeah.
actually it was him. It wasn't just a CGI'd photo. He was
Yeah.
actually hanging. It was a proper shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I love the magic reference to Houdini as well. Did he have a straight jacket on in that? No.
No,
So he wasn't doing an escape act from it. It's just dangling.
just dangling off a building. Well, not off the edge. He was actually.
Made it look as though it
Really
was. Yeah.
But actually, I forgot that I've got that album cover in carpet tiles.
We do have it in a set of carpet tiles.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. So let me
Why?
let me explain. So my cousin was was quite senior at HMV. I won't give it away exactly who he was in case
Yeah. No.
it gets him in trouble. But
But he took free stuff for you.
So at some point, HMV were considering putting album covers on the carpets of their key stores, so that amongst the carpet tiles, they would just, you'd get album covers in the
So it's
carpet.
like 4 carpet tiles that go together, isn't it? Is it
Yeah.
4? Yeah.
So it's 4 that go together. So they made the what's the prototype to show, everyone this is what it could look like using Escapology. And it never happened. So in the end, my cousin, I think he dug it out of the cupboard and just gave it to me and was like, I know that you'll appreciate this. So it's now in where is it? It's in my cupboard in the bedroom, or in Matt's
safely
cupboard.
tucked away in one of our wardrobe cupboards upstairs.
We haven't ever felt the need to actually use it.
I'm not sure it works as a main rug in the lounge, really. I'm sure some people would, but yeah.
Yeah, so one of a type that we own. So it's quite interesting.
That's a very, very cool souvenir. It's gotta
Robbie
be
on
said.
carpet tiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway.
Yes, there we go.
I'd forgotten
on.
about that until just now.
I don't know whether the idea didn't work because, do people really want to walk all over their favourite pop stars as they walk around the store,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they decided it was too expensive. I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. So, should we talk about the first song?
Yeah, let's talk
Oh,
about
yeah, the album.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's talk about it. How peculiar. Let's talk about that.
Right. How Peculiar was written by Rob and Guy. Rob said, "How peculiar is who I'd like to be. I'd got a massive crush on somebody and I couldn't handle it. It became all-consuming and overwhelming for about 2 months. I couldn't concentrate on anything. And we had the backing track to this song. And what was sung, I'm proud to say, was the first take. No lyrics written beforehand, so it was just a train of thought, probably because I didn't have any confidence in myself, being able to pull off my infatuation. The whole lyric is about me being amazing. It was far from what I felt at the time, but I was probably saying it to bolster my self-confidence.
While introducing it for the Robbie Williams show recorded at Pinewood Studios, he told the crowd, "I wrote a song about a certain person who will remain nameless, only because if I fart, it's in the papers. But I wrote this because every time I was near her, I felt like a 7-year-old and I had nothing to say. Luckily, she found me attractive, and in the end, I just got my penis out. I've written about it in this song." After the song, he said, "Needless to say, I slept with her."
It's a great quote, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's a proper Robbie quote, isn't it?
So what do we think of How Peculiar? Katie, would you like to go first?
I really like this song, actually.
Yeah.
This album is one that I listen to a lot, probably kind of more than a lot like the others, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it's just always one that I've always listened to, but I do like this song. I particularly like the first word that comes out.
Cows.
Yeah.
You know, some people think he's saying house.
It's definitely cows.
I think it's cows, and you think it's cows.
I think it's cows.
Yeah, I do completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, who else would start a song with the word cows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that even relate to this woman that he fancies? Weird.
Yeah. It was clearly, maybe it was a bet. Who can get a random word in first?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, at the start of the song.
Yeah.
I didn't actually realise how rude the lyrics were until I was looking at them for this.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at them now, and
Oh, yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
We had a little conversation
Because they're
about
kind
this.
of distorted, aren't they, on this, as he sings them?
Yeah, and I think maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I've never realised, studied them this closely.
Lucy, what would you classify as the really rude lyrics then? Let's hear Lucy say this.
Just get the old fella and whack it up against her tush.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I didn't really realise it was saying that either until we really got into it. And we've listened to that song for years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But when he sung it on the Robbie Williams show, the lyrics were a bit clearer because he was singing it live. So you kind of could hear them better then. But it's so long ago since I watched it, I'd forgotten. We did rewatch it recently, and I noticed how much clearer it was.
I guess sometimes you just sing along and you don't really process what words are coming out of your mouth because you've just learnt it by memory, haven't you?
Yeah.
And listening to it over and over. So, yeah.
I think later on in the song he says, "Just whack the old man out and get it up against your tush."
Yeah.
So a little variation
Yeah, he does.
on the old fella. For those people that don't know what we're talking about, when he said about getting his penis out earlier on, that's what it means. Just in case people aren't quite understanding that, if you're not a native
Lost
English
in
speaker.
Translation. Yeah.
Just wanted to make that clear.
I have
didn't
empathy for our international audience there. So I just love the rousing guitars in this one. Obviously, it is quite a sexual song, I think, about having casual sex. And I can only assume this is about sexual antics in bed. But it's quite a confusing song all in all when you really start looking at it or trying to study it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bend your long legs against the sofa in the Dorchester. You can keep your hot breath. I'm not into hard sports. Okay.
Except it's actually, you can keep your all bran. I'm not into hard sports, apparently.
Oh, if there was hot breath. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's hot breath. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know.
All bran works.
All bran is even weirder, though, isn't it?
That's a cereal, just in case people don't know what that is.
Maybe it means something else in Robbie Land.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I like the line. Well, sorry. Yeah, saving all the stamps and spend it on a kettle. I don't know whether that's. I don't know. Is that like saving up your Christmas stamps like you get in Morrison's? I don't know. They do like a spend and save.
Green Shield stamps. That was a long time ago. Though.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, many people won't remember that.
From the
but,
petrol station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or supermarkets sometimes did stamp saving schemes. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever
Showing
do
your age,
that,
Matt.
Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember my parents had a Green Shield stamp book, and they never really seemed to fill the thing up. I mean, every now and again they did, and it would buy like a small sharp knife after about 6 months of filling out this book or something, you know.
Oh, we'd get glasses, like crystal
yeah,
glasses.
get a glass at a time or something, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I do really like this song. It's like rocky, isn't it? And it's got a really great melody.
Yeah.
But the line, Jesus, what am I to do, man? I am a depressed man, not sure what I'm doing all of the day. That's not so nice.
Nope. No.
Need for you to love me so much. Jesus, what am I to do with this crush? Can't imagine someone actually not being interested in Robbie. It took him 2 months to actually, what's the word? complete the transaction.
Oh, right.
Complete the transaction.
Cash in the saving stamps is what you were saying.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like him, does it? Yeah, it's a kind of a rockier, edgier start to the album, isn't it, compared to others that he's opened with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything more to say on that one, Katie?
Cows.
Cows. Cows. Something like that. Should we move on and talk about feel?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So moving on to Feel. This was written by Rob and Guy and was the first single to be released off Escapology on the 2nd of December 2002. It reached number 4 in the UK, number 1 in the Czech Republic, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, number 2 in Hungary and Norway, 3 in Austria, Germany and Sweden, 4 in Denmark, Ireland and Switzerland, and number 5 in Belgium. It became a gold record in the UK with 400,000 UK sales and was also gold in France, Germany, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Denmark, Italy, Sweden and Switzerland. It was nominated for International Hit of the Year at the Ivor Novello Awards in 2003 and 2004. It won Best Pop Song at the 2003 NRJ Awards and Best Video and Single at the TMF Awards.
It was written when Guy was trying to play something he thought it sounded a bit like Moby, and Rob sang some words about how depressed he was on top. Guy said, as soon as Robbie started writing the lyric, I just thought this is going to be incredible. I think when he first wrote it, he was quite scared by the lyric because it's very honest. In Reveal, Rob tells a journalist, pop loves an extreme emotion and pop loves big, bold statements. And I was certainly having extreme emotions. The day I wrote that was probably the saddest day of my life, but it would not be for any other reason than chemically something was happening to me. And it just felt like a prison, a very, very uncomfortable, unpleasant place. You know, I couldn't abide life, so it came from deep pain, Feel did. What was special, if you term it special, was that it was a place of being, very raw, very honest. And also, it's the simplicity of the chorus. I just want to feel real love in the home that I live in. Everybody feels that. There's the saying, write about what you know. And I do write about what I know. I don't know about much, but I know about how I feel.
He later says, it's just a beautiful fucking song. There's not much more I can say about it. The vocal that you've got on the single is the demo because I just couldn't sing it as well as I did that day. American session singer Darlene sang some haunting opera-esque backing vocals following Rob's example of what he wanted. In the end, the operatic passages were abandoned. But I think that sometimes they use them when the song's played live, like in Vegas, you know, those sort of ooey-are-y bits.
Yeah, I think they are.
I don't know how to describe them, but if you've seen Robbie live, then you should know
the
what I mean.
ooey-are-y bits are the bit that you'll know.
Where they're like green lights quite often.
Yeah, the lasers
shine out. Rapper Miss Dynamite also wrote and recorded a rap for the song, but it was omitted too, despite everyone loving it. It was decided that his comeback single should be Robbie Alone. At the MTV EMAs, Rob found Miss Dynamite to apologise for not using her rap, explaining he'd sent a letter to her office but she hadn't received it. The letter said he thought her rap made the song better and that he hoped it hadn't fucked up any potential future collaborations.
Guy says that Tina Turner has covered it and he can't wait for when EMI have the sense to release it because it shows what a class song it really is. Obviously, Rob's version will always be the version, the most important version, but when you hear someone as amazing as Tina sing it, it makes you hear it again with new ears, he said.
Great, so what do we think of Feel? Shall I go first?
Go on then.
I love it. I still love it now, even, 18 years later?
Yeah.
Still just as good as the first time I heard it, I think.
Why?
Because it's just, I don't know, it's
you can't
haunting.
just say because it's Robbie.
It's just like an incredible haunting kind of song. I love it when he dances and the instrumental bit when he's singing it live. Little sort of body jerking bits
Shuffle.
he does.
Yeah.
It's always got amazing lighting when they do it live. Quite often has the green lights, the lasers shining out into the crowd. And it's just got amazing lyrics. Not sure I understand this role I've been given. I sit and talk to God and he just laughs at my plans. My head speaks a language I don't understand. And I like it when sometimes he sings God is a she as well, when he's singing it live. That's quite good. What do you all think? Katie?
You've literally just
Stolen your line.
quoted my favourite part of the song. I love that lyric.
Yeah.
But I think as well, what you were talking about at the beginning, how, you know, the kind of the sadness side of it, I think you can really kind of see that when you look at the lyrics, like, for sure. But yeah, I'm fully on board with you, Lucy. I love this song, even all these years later.
Yeah. It's just not one that I've got sick of. I never get sick of hearing it.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same. And you guys will get this. It always reminds me of the gig and the crazy vibration that comes down the barrier.
Oh, God, yeah. It makes the whole place vibrate, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
I love the piano and the shake at the start of this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the piano opening is like genius because it is implanted in my brain.
Yeah.
And no doubt many other millions of people's brains as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mark of a good song, isn't it? When
the opening.
Yeah, that
part.
signature part of the tune can just embed itself.
Yeah.
And then Rob's storytelling and his vocals at the beginning are just magical. The song just builds and builds and builds. And yeah, and I do agree, the bass of this song, when the bass kicks in, it just, especially live, it actually goes through you.
Yeah.
and it, you know, you're already sort of feeling the tingles, but when that goes through you, you're like, wow. Yeah, so that's quite special. And it is obviously incredible to sing along to live as well. And yeah, just clever songwriting. Come and hold my hand. I want to contact the living. Not sure I understand this role I've been given. And I think the song has got quite sad lyrics, really.
Yeah,
you know, not being able to feel real love. However, the song somehow has that feel good feeling about it when listening,
it's weird,
which
isn't it?
many of Rob and Guy's songs do, don't they?
Yeah. It's a feel good song, even though it's really sad.
Yeah.
It is, but it always makes me sad when it's live because it's normally right at the end of the show.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. Whenever this song starts, it signifies the end of the gig to me.
Yeah, to me, it's either the last song before the encore or it's one of the songs in the encore.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, oh no, this is the end of the show. Yeah. So it always just makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not alone in thinking that then. That's funny.
No.
And the other thing about this song is the lyrics, which are wrong in all of his lyric books, in and out of consciousness and Escapology itself, where it says, I just want to feel real love. feel the home that I live in. But Rob has confirmed himself that the lyric is, I just want to feel real love. Fill the home that I live in. Fill. In case that's not clear. Because someone said to him once in chat or somewhere, I can't remember, was if on this blog or something, that they'd got those lyrics tattooed.
Yeah.
And he said, I hate to break it to you, but that's the wrong lyric. And she's like, but it said that on the CD. And he said, yeah, it's wrong.
Oh, you'd be devastated, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I guess the man himself knows, isn't he?
Yeah. And it's also on our front doormat as well.
It is. Correctly.
Really?
spelt.
Yeah, we've got a front doormat that we got through FanFest that says, I just want to feel real love, fill the home that I live in.
Yeah.
On
Thank
my-
you, FanFest.
Yeah. on our
You
door.
have a
Robbie
lot of
FanFest,
Robbie-related floor coverings in your house.
Yeah. People would get the
true.
impression that our house is covered in it, but not really.
If I've learned anything from tonight, it's that you have a lot of floor coverings relating to Robbie Williams. So,
But the home is
great.
filled with love, so that's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
Most of the time.
And the other line that always gets me, there's a hole in my soul. You can see it in my face. It's a real big place. That line always gets me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
think
deep
he's,
lyrics in this one.
I think it's just really brave to actually put this song out there.
Hmm.
But it was so good. They had to, didn't they? You couldn't just hide it because it's an amazing piece of writing.
Yeah, he's drawing from a deep, dark place, as he said. Something chemically was happening to him. Felt like he was in a prison, unpleasant place. I mean, yeah, he's digging deep on the emotion there.
Yeah.
And you can still feel it when he sings it.
Yeah.
It's not just showmanship. You can when you can feel, but you can feel it, can't you? When you see him perform it live, he's really draws on all that emotion.
Yeah. So should we talk about the video?
Yes. So the video was directed by Vaughan Arnell and shot in Calgary. As the record deal hadn't been signed at the time, Rob paid the £700,000 bill himself. Rob plays a British cowboy who becomes involved with the female ranch owner. Rob and Vaughan were talking on the phone, saying they wanted a sophisticated, classic, wealthy-looking woman. Rob happened to meet Daryl Hannah, really liked her and asked her to do it. She was shooting Kill Bill in LA at the time and missed the last commercial flight, so they chartered her a private jet. She arrived at 2 a.m. for a 7 a.m. start.
She must have really wanted to do it.
Yeah, no wonder he paid the £700,000 bill himself.
Because he wanted Daryl Hannah.
Exactly. Didn't want to miss out on the opportunity.
So Vaughan said that Rob's brief was that he didn't want to be smiling or cheeky. It was a conscious effort to make it slightly more serious and atmospheric, back to the atmosphere they created with Angels.
So he wanted to be smouldering and serious.
Yeah.
Mm.
On the morning of the shoot, Rob woke up with a huge lump on the side of his face, where he had picked an ingrowing hair.
Oh dear.
Field writer Chris Heath said he looked like Elephant Man. They sent for a doctor, but Rob razored the lump off himself, leaving blood all over the bathroom and a gash, which they had to cover up and shoot around.
He removed it with a razor.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob, come on. Bloody hell.
And Rob had a fake Daryl tattoo on the left side of his neck for this video, which was where the B for his nan now is, just a bit below that.
Ah.
Because I was looking at the video, I was thinking, what's that on his neck? That doesn't look right. I'm sure I haven't seen that tattoo before. And then
Yeah.
I realised.
And there's a photo of Rob on a horse that's rearing from his shoot in You Know Me. He said, I love that picture. It's the only picture I'll have of myself up in the house. I couldn't ride before, but I picked it up very quickly. Me and the horse were on one for a bit. It was really cool. It was after the second day of filming Feel that David and Josie filled Rob in on Guy's contractual demands. Rob's furious, and a message is passed to Guy via Tim that he's no longer needed. Feel is the video of Rob's with the most YouTube hits, with over 290 million views. His second highest viewed video is Angels with 173 million. That's over 100 million less, putting Phil significantly ahead.
Yeah.
Candy is third with 100 million. So, 290 million views of Phil.
It's way ahead.
Huge.
And all his other videos. And I think
that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually, I would say that this is my favourite Robbie video.
Oh, I didn't know I knew that.
Yeah, because he looks so good in it.
All to do with the cinematography and the production, Katie. Nothing to do with how Robbie looks.
I mean, no deep, meaningful reason apart from he looks dead fit in it.
Yes, exactly.
Obviously, the smouldering, serious
Yeah,
look
the smouldering
worked.
thing worked. When he's in the bath and like hanging over the gate, the way he walks, I don't know, snogging Daryl Hannah. Yeah, it's all what's not to like.
You clearly like it a lot.
Yes. What do you think of the video?
It's not my favourite video,
Isn't it?
Robbie
Okay.
video.
No.
But yeah, no, I like it. It's very, I guess, I don't know, that and Angels are very, the black and white and it's very arty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It just looks beautiful, the scenery and everything. It's just, love it. So the only bit I don't really like is the bit where they're doing like the rodeo horses, where the cowboys are on the horse and the horse is trying to throw them off. Because I think that I feel like they're hurting the horse when they do that. So I don't know anything about it, but that's just what I think.
Yeah, I guess it's the tradition out there, cowboy tradition. But I know, just, random fact, Rob is the only cowboy not wearing a cowboy hat when he came riding towards the camera at the beginning. And I was thinking, maybe he didn't want his hair messed up.
Probably.
Maybe he didn't think he looked quite so good in a have we really seen him in a cowboy hat before? I know he's tried a lot of different styles. Pretty sure I haven't seen him in maybe you have.
Can't remember. No.
If any listeners out there know about that, then you can let us know. But I just think sorry, Katie, go on.
I was just going to say, I reckon that was probably a conscious decision by the director.
To make him stand out.
Because he is the star, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a bonkers video. I mean, it's different. Vaughan knows what he's doing, creating a different kind of music video that stands out from other music videos, and it does, and it tells a bit of a story.
Yeah.
It's got Daryl Hannah in it.
Exactly. Mermaid. She's in that mermaid film, wasn't she?
In America, eating chips out of a cone. I'm not sure whether that normally happens, but may do.
So let's go on to Something Beautiful. This is the third single to come off the album on the 28th of July 2003. It reached number 3 in the UK and Belgium, 6 in Ireland and Romania, 7 in Hungary and New Zealand, 8 in Denmark and the Netherlands, 19 in Austria, 22 in Italy, and only number 46 in Germany. Rob and Guy wrote it in Barbados when he wasn't having a good time. He explained it's a very straightforward pop track and that he meant everything he said in it. It's about sitting in bed at night thinking, I wish I wasn't here by myself. He said the demo felt a bit lightweight and sounded too much like a Robbie Williams song. He wanted it to sound more like Al Green or Macy Gray. He originally offered it to Tom Jones, who was interested in it, but his people didn't completely get it or like it, so he thought, if we can make this more soulful, I think it would be great to be on my album.
In tour rehearsals, Rob cut this from the set list, saying he didn't want to do it. Not now, not ever. Saying, it's the next single, but so fucking what? Just fuck off. And then, when they walk off, they'll be, where was that? And I'll be at the hotel. Because to tell the truth, there's a few songs here. Every night, I'm going to be a bit, I hate this one about. I can do a few of them, He scrapped Something Beautiful and Sexed Up and put Kids back in. There you go.
So, what do we think of Something Beautiful?
Well, he obviously doesn't like it.
No.
By the sounds of that strange quote that I just had to read.
Oh, Katie?
I like this song. I'm going to disagree with Rob.
Yeah.
I don't know. I quite like, I guess, the melody of it. Yeah. I never knew the Tom. I only said Tom Hanks then. The Tom Jones fact though.
Right. I think
that would be interesting. I can't imagine how it would sound.
Yeah, I was trying to imagine that as well. I think he'd do it quite well. It would probably sound completely different though, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, completely.
It's not my favourite on the album, I must say. There's songs that I prefer. Lots of songs I prefer.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with that. I quite like it, but it's not like a high up there.
Yeah.
Fave.
I don't dislike it.
But
I just
no. It's a good song. I mean, it's another. I was thinking about. It's another great dominant piano and Robbie vocal opening again, and to me, it's a song about hope and love. You know, may you find that love never leave you. May you find it by the end of the day. You won't be lost, hurt or tired or lonely. Something beautiful will come your way. Yeah. And then when he talks about they can't see your soul, no, forgot the time feeling petrified when they lived alone. You know, I think that's quite brave lyrics. Not everyone can see what you're going through.
Yeah. It's like all his married and loved up friends have forgotten what it's like to be single.
Yeah.
Can't
People just think, well, you must be satisfied. Can't see what's really going on behind it all. And then I love it when the lyrics and the music build around some kind of beautiful. Another one that's impossible not to sing along to, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree there. I was about to say that. It's very catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't have been a single though, myself. I think that Monsoon or Hot Fudge would have been better singles.
Yeah, I think I agree with you actually. I think Hot Fudge in particular would have been a great single.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they picked this one really,
especially Hot Fudge, so I have to agree with that.
Especially as Robbie doesn't seem to like it. I just wonder why it got picked as a single. It's weird.
Yeah, I wonder who makes the decisions, eh?
Yeah, normally he has quite a big say in it, doesn't he? So it's weird.
Maybe because it is quite a kind of sing-along poppy, I guess, isn't it? So maybe that's why they went with it.
Yeah.
Different to the other ones that they had released off this album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it on the song, isn't it? Should we talk about the video?
Yes. So the video was directed by James Tonkin, a music documentary creator who's worked with Coldplay, the Rolling Stones, Duran Duran and Genesis. It was based on a pop idol theme, as that was a massive TV show at the time. Fans from all over Europe tried to impress the judges, including Rob's dad, Pete, by doing their best Robbie impressions. The three finalists were Pete Caruana from Manchester, Rebecca Durant from Essex, and Bjorn Wenner from Hamburg. Peter was an actor and won the spoof Robbie reality show. He later featured in a Chicago town pizza advert as a Simon Cowell lookalike. All three winners got to star in their own version of the video and got to meet Robbie. There were two different endings, one where viewers are asked to vote at Rob's website for the best performer, the other ending with the winner receiving a trophy and meeting Rob at the bus stop, reading a newspaper with the headline, "Robbie for a week, back to reality for final three." Yeah.
So it's a fun video, but I'd always prefer to see Robbie in the video myself.
Yeah, completely agree.
It's not a video that I'd ever choose to really watch again.
No. It is really different. I mean, I hadn't watched this one for ages and I'd almost forgot the reality TV style of it. But there's something I do quite like about that as well. I do also remember one of the girls got her boobs out as well.
Did she?
Yeah, there was a bloke in tiger pants and one in a Mr. Blobby shirt as well. So that's what I remember. And then, I love the way that they're copying Rob's dance moves and they're going on to the manufactured miracles stage. And that bit at the end where the winner meets Robbie at the bus stop is quite fun. And Robbie gives the cheesiest smile and grin ever from behind the fake newspaper. It's quite good.
The thing that made me laugh was watching a behind the scenes of that and him meeting the 3 winners and asking his assistant whether they'd been sorted out for tickets. And the winners said, no, not yet. And he said, oh, we'll sort that out, don't worry. And then one of the girl, what's her name? Rebecca said, oh, but I've already bought my tickets. And Robbie said, what do you want me to do? Give you the cash? And I just cracked right up.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Bless him.
It's a good retort.
Yeah.
Problem is,
It's
he
just the
doesn't
way he
carry
delivered
cash,
it
so
as
that would have
well.
been unlikely.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. It's just quick-witted, isn't he? What do you think of the video, Katie? Not much to say.
Yeah, I think I'm a bit like you. It's probably not my favourite one. I guess when it was released, I guess it was when reality TV started to become a really big thing.
Yeah, it was.
I guess.
Yeah. Pop Idol.
Of course, yeah, that's Pop Idol.
Yeah.
No, it's quite a fun video, but I think, like Matt, I think you see it once and,
That's enough.
that's enough. Yeah,
It's a
you've
little-
kind of got the story, you know what happens,
Yeah.
almost.
It's a little bit distracting from the song
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like you're sort of watching this fake documentary, which isn't fake, which it looks fake, and then there's a song behind it. It's like it is about Robbie, but it's
Yeah.
So should we move on and talk about Monsoon?
Yeah, Monsoon. So Rob said, it was a song that Guy and I wrote in the Bahamas that I'd binned because I was being too self-critical, and all of a sudden it turned out to be amazing. I think it's really honest. I know a lot of stuff is written about me, and there's a lot of speculation, and you have no forum to actually present yourself, where people get an honest view of you. A lot of the time, I can only do it through my lyrics, and Monsoon is a very honest version of what I think is going on. And Monsoon is Rob's 8th most performed song, according to setlist.fm. So as I said, it should have been a single instead of something beautiful, because he clearly likes playing this.
Yeah,
It features on many tours, doesn't it, this one?
Yeah.
it does.
What do you think of this song, Matt?
Well, I think nearly all fans I know every single word to this song. And you could say that about a lot of Robbie's songs and fans, but I think people do know every single word to this song. I love it live. It's a hands in the air, hands across the water, mushroom. We like the old mushroom link there. Monsoon,
Champignon.
come soon. Yes. In Hyde Park, we had our mushroom sign up with Champion on the other side. Not sure Robbie quite knew what was going on, but when we were mushrooms in the song. So, and the bridge is superb lyrics as well. Oh Lord, I feel nothing. I know much smarter men never got this far. I've had more blondes than brunettes. I don't know. I love the electric guitars in this one as well. Yeah, it's a classic song. Classic Robbie.
What about you, Katie?
Yeah, it's a real crowd pleaser, I think. Live, I might be wrong, but I always remember it's relatively early on in a set list quite often because it really gets everybody in the crowd going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I love hearing this song live. I think mainly for that reason. Yeah, it's a great one. I love the lyric, don't want to piss on your parade.
Yeah.
I'm here to make money and get laid. Yeah, I'm a star, but I'll fade. Just clever, typical clever Rob lyrics.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why I think I really like this one.
There's so many great lyrics in this one, isn't there?
Yeah, completely.
I've sung some songs that were lame. I've slept with girls on the game. I've got my Catholic shame. Lord, I'm in purgatory. And then what shape of insanity keeps leading you back to me? I feel like he could be saying that to the girls that he's sleeping with, or even to his fans, because he never understands why we keep coming back.
Yeah,
does he?
why we do it. Yeah.
And obviously the "I've had more blondes than brunettes" line is a classic in the live shows, isn't it? He always likes to...
Crowd pleaser. It's a crowd pleaser if you're in the right place.
Exactly.
Yeah, likes to pick people out. Yeah.
I'm not expecting your sympathy, but it's all been too much for me. Yeah, that's a deep lyric there, isn't it? It's in the Look Back, Don't Stare documentary that, for Take That's Progress, he said, "What I've managed to do is stretch an elastic band to the moon with what I've got." And I feel like that sort of relates to the line, "I know much smarter men never got this far." In this song.
Yeah.
He's really stretched his talent, made it what he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's not just got to do with being smart, is it? That whatever your definition of that is.
No.
You can be clever and creative genius.
Yeah.
He's got a very long way.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the self-doubt is still there, though, but he's got an extremely long way.
Yeah, so it's a great song, this, isn't it?
He belts it out, doesn't he? He just belts this one out live. I mean, it's just...
The sea of hands.
Yeah. I think he loves the energy of it. He loves feeding off the energy of the crowd, just really going for it.
I think this album in general, there's a lot of crowd pleasers on this, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, the kind of, feel that we've already spoke about, that's a real kind of, everybody in the audience always loves that one. And this one, like I say, like everybody gets involved.
Yeah.
It was a strong album in terms of tracks to perform live, this one.
Yeah. He always comes back to them, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, completely.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So let's talk about the next song, Sexed Up. Written by Rob and Guy, this was the last single to come off Escapology on the 24th of November 2003, a year after the album was released. It got to number 10 in the UK, 4 in Belgium, 5 in Hungary, and 8 in Italy. As we just said, Sexed Up was also removed from the 2003 tour setlist at the final rehearsals. Rob said, "Sexed Up has always been earmarked for doing something grand with it. It's an amazing song that was too good to be allowed to be a demo on a B-side. I actually sang and wrote it about a person I was going out with at the time. A lot of it is reality, and some of it like, screw you, I didn't like your taste anyway, I chose you. I didn't mean that. Those words just fit in that bit." I wrote the song and thought it was absolutely amazing, and I went to the person that I wrote it about and went, "Listen to this, it's great." And in the chorus it goes, "Why don't we break up?" And I just remember her face going, and then he pulled a face, i.e. all sad. My ego at the time was, fuck what it's about, just listen to the song, it's great. That poor girl, whoever she was. It's one way to be dumped, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Having a hit record. He later added, "There's grain of truth in that song. It was written about an ex, but as with all sorts of art and films and things, it gets expanded on. There's inaccuracies and half-truths surrounding everything. Don't we know it? But I never felt as harsh as those lyrics came out. I've just found myself tripping over each lyric until it became that song, which is pretty vitriolic for a subject that's so heartbreaking." So what do we think about Sexed Up?
Well, I think everyone knows that I love this song because I picked it for my song choice in episode 4, I think it was.
Yes, you did.
So yes, it's an incredible song. It's got great melody and lyrics.
You weren't sure because it was a demo in that.
Well, no, only because I thought I might want to pick it for Escapology.
It's on the playlist.
But it's already on the playlist, so that's good, yeah. What do you think, Katie?
Yeah, I love this song as well. I think I love his vocal on this more than like having a particular favourite lyric,
Yeah.
etc. I don't know why. I just think his vocal, like even when it was a B-side, I loved it.
Yeah.
And I think it's more his, like the quality of his vocal on the track. I really like.
Yeah. You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah.
I wonder whether he actually re-recorded the vocal from the demo. I guess he did. They sound quite similar, that's all.
Yeah, they do.
So it's hard to tell.
Or maybe they just remixed it. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, maybe they did.
But yeah, some clever, typical Rob lyrics, I think, in it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great song.
I love the lyrics. Loose lips, sunk ships. Just a classic opening line. I love the way it starts, Rob's vocals, the acoustic guitar, and it, you know, as always with kind of Guy's composition, it builds and builds. I guess it's a song about breaking up.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're still together, but realizing that really they need to break up. I'll go out and find another you. You know, it's a bit sort of contrived, I think.
Yeah.
And your favourite line is
Screw
you.
Yeah. Screw you. I just love the way he sings that bit.
Yeah.
And the most telling line of the whole song, I think, is I hope you blow away. He whispers quite quietly, and you will miss it if you don't really listen very carefully or have the volume up very loud. Just quietly at the end, he says, just not today. Did you pick up on
Just
that?
not today. That's
Just
what
not
Matt
today.
said.
Yeah.
Really quietly at the end.
I don't always hear that bit. I have heard it, but yeah, as Matt says, you only hear it if you've got it turned up loud, I think.
Yeah,
So-
I think you have to be fully concentrating on the song,
Yeah.
don't you? Not have any
Yeah.
background noise, otherwise you'll miss it.
Yeah.
So she does need to blow away, but just not today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, should we talk about the video?
Yes. So the video was directed by Swedish Jonas Ackerland, who's done over 100 music videos for the likes of Roxette, The Prodigy, Metallica, Madonna, Moby and U2. The actress is Jamie King. RobbieWilliams.com says the video artistry perfectly captured the haunting mood of Robbie's dark and melancholy ballad. Do you reckon it did?
It's kind of a freaky video. I don't know why. Robbie kind of looks a bit crazy and evil in it, which I guess suits the song. Just like kind of how he's singing right into the camera. Is that sort of, I don't know, fierce look?
Yeah, there's no hiding, is there?
No. The way he's sort of looking into the camera and singing, I don't know why, it sort of reminds me of moments of the tripping video as well. Something in his face, I don't know what. But yeah, it's beautifully filmed, and it fits the majesty of the song, I'd say. And it shows off Rob's eyes very well. You can see his green eyes very well. It's got nice close-ups.
I love this theme
Yes.
in terms of the videos that you're bringing out.
Superficial.
Yeah.
And then I guess the actress is kind of freaking out and smashing stuff up because she's been dumped by Rob. I bet there's...
Maybe he recreated what happened after he went and played those lyrics.
I wonder if that is what happened.
Yeah. I've got a great idea for a video.
Yeah. Do you like the video?
I do, yeah. Yeah, it's, again, I don't think I wouldn't not like it just because I love the song so much.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, really, isn't it? It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
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 Seems to be a bit of a bunny rabbit theme going on in this video.
Oh, yeah, there is a bunny rabbit.
There's some rabbits near the start, and
Yeah.
then she's got a rabbit mask on at the end. It's all a bit kind of strange.
It is a bit strange, yeah.
They're in a strange old house. Is there an alligator or a crocodile in it as well? I don't know. There's
Something
sort
like
of lots of weird animals in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The single cover's quite intense as well. You remember it's got the woman on it,
Yes.
on the rope, and then the eyes of Rob at the back.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite intense.
Yeah. And then there's a DVD single version as well, which has just got the girl on it.
Yeah.
Like with a green background. Is that the one you mean? Because there's two, isn't there? There's one for the CD.
So there's the dark background.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other version that I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Green one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I've also realised in the video that there's some sort of wolf. I mean, it's probably not a wolf, it's probably a dog bounding towards her at the end.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite get her, but that's when she's got her rabbit mask on. Yeah.
Yes,
Wow, he really wanted rid, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Set the dogs.
Yeah. Set them loose. Off you go.
So should we go on to Love Somebody?
Yes, let's talk about Love Somebody. Written by Rob and Guy. In feel, it details how a gospel choir did backing vocals for the middle eight according to Rob's original lyrics. However, Rob changed his mind and wanted to change the lyric, saying he'd have to live with it for the rest of time and it was only his album. Guy said he was sure it wouldn't affect sales, but Rob said it affected him. In the end, Rob got an American choir at the cost of $20,000 to change the middle eight. Because to me, it's a great song and I wouldn't be able to stand that lyric in it, said Rob.
Yeah, I wonder what that original lyric was.
Don't know.
I do want to love somebody. I don't want to go out anymore. I'd like to settle down now. We wrote it in the Bahamas and I didn't like the verse, but then we dug it out and rewrote the verses and all of a sudden it fell into place. I'd been listening to The Windmills of Your Mind and the verses are definitely my homage to that. There's not enough minutes in an hour or hours in the day. A song played in a circle that never skips a beat. A stranger in the country I have yet to meet. Enigmatic paradoxes. That's what Rob said. Okay, Love Somebody. What do we think? Who wants to go first? Katie?
Oh, I'll go first. Another song that I like on this album.
Yeah.
I think it's quite different in terms of the style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And how it kind of builds. I love how it really builds in it as well.
Yeah.
And again, some great lyrics. He needs to go to the Caribbean more often to write albums.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I think it's a great song just because it is, like I say, a little bit different in terms of its style.
Yeah.
I think to some other songs on the album. And I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's got a very sad sounding intro.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me feel sad. But I love what Robbie says about enigmatic paradoxes. That intrigued me. So I listened to Noel Harrison's version as well. And that's quite a haunting song.
Is that The Windmills of Your Mind?
Yeah, Noel
Wow.
Harrison was the voice of the haunting 1960s classic, The Windmills of Your Mind. And the song was first heard on the soundtrack for the film The Thomas Crown Affair in 1968. And it won an Oscar for the Best Original Song and became a UK chart hit the following year. So back in the day, it was quite a popular song. So yeah, and it does, when you listen to it, it contrasts things. Paradoxes, basically. So yeah, inspirational for Rob, I can see. And obviously it's strong vocal from Robbie. I love his tone in this one. And my favourite lyric is, and it's hope that spring's eternal for everyone. Very profound.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like the bridge. It'll come in your sweet time, Lord. I've just got to let you in. The blind leading the blind, Lord, getting underneath your skin. Have you got any favourite lyrics, Katie?
Probably right at the end.
Yeah.
I can feel you in the silence saying, let forever be. Love, only love will set you free.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a great lyric.
I love the way he sings, want to love somebody, just want to love somebody right now.
Yeah,
you
me
know,
too.
The way he sings that. Really passionate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it completely belting that out, isn't he? And I think it's almost like his voice, it's almost a little bit gravelly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
You can really feel him singing it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to sing the blues in black and white. That's a great line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all paradoxes, isn't it? It's clever. Very, very clever when you look back at it, the lyrics.
Yeah. He's got this, it's like a raspy voice as well.
Yeah. Rasp. That's a great
Rasp,
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you want to talk about Revolution?
Yeah, so Revolution was written by Rob and Guy, and the female singer is Rose Stone, an American best known as one of the lead singers in Sly and the Family Stone, a psychedelic soul funk band. She recorded a solo album under the name Rose Banks in the 70s, and during the 80s and 90s, she was a backing singer for Michael Jackson, Fish, Ringo Starr, and Reef. In 2011-2012, she toured with Elton John as one of his backing singers.
Rob said this was added to the album at the 11th hour. We actually wrote it by mistake, and the day we wrote it, I went home thinking, well, at least we've got a great tune for the start of the next album. And then I thought, I'm not waiting years to put that on an album. So we quickly recorded it and asked Rose Stone to come down and sing with me on it. The revolution is, once again, love lost, lack of hope. But get your torch out and shine it for yourself. Rob performed this on the televised Pinewood Robbie Williams show with his tour backing vocalist Katie Kassoon. Matt, would you like to go first talking about Revolution?
I would, and I'm pleased that they decided to record this last minute. I think it's an amazingly incredible song.
Yes.
I love the start. I just love how funky it is. It's got like that funky sort of soul vibe,
Yeah.
which I guess works with Rose Stone, who sang with him on it.
Yeah.
It just really appeals to me. I think the combination of Rob and Rose's vocal is superb. They just work so well together. I just love the style and feel of this whole song. I'd love more songs like this, actually.
Oh.
Really, I just like that whole vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funky.
Katie?
Yeah, I love the start, the middle, and the end of the song.
You love everything about it.
I love it all. Matt, you hit the nail on the head with the kind of the vibe of the song. It's brilliant. It's such a great song. And yeah, that real kind of soul vibe that it's got. Again, it's completely different in a way to some of the other tracks.
Yeah, it is.
On the album, and yeah, great song.
It was one of my early favourites on the album. I can remember this was the first album that came out when me and Matt were actually together, and I can remember going to buy it after work.
Yeah.
And you had already bought it before me. And talking on the phone.
Oh, that's funny.
And you'd already listened to it before me. And I think that this was one of the first songs that we actually talked about at the time. Because we both loved it immediately.
And how long had you been together at this point?
About a year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But we
Matt, as if you did that so early on in the relationship.
Well, there you go. Just proves it, doesn't it? Not a fake fan here.
So we weren't living together, so we both bought our own copies. So
yeah,
he obviously managed to get to the shops and get his before I got mine.
I seem to remember, I remember us talking about it, not as vividly as Lucy does, but I remember playing it a lot.
We're gutted that he didn't sing it at Knebworth. I remember we said it afterwards. Oh, he didn't sing Revolution.
Yeah.
But I guess it's one of those that he wasn't really going to sing.
I'm not convinced that he puts it high up.
No. You never hear him talk about this, do you?
No. I think this would be great performed in like quite a small theatre.
Yeah.
Just because I think it would sound incredible. I don't know whether it would get a little bit lost in something like Knebworth, but I think it would sound amazing in a really small venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he sung it with Dinosh, that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be great, wouldn't it?
And interestingly, when I was looking at the lyrics in the CD, loads of them are wrong on this song. Like quite clearly wrong, you know.
Are they Rob's lyrics that they're actually putting in the booklets, do you think, rather than the right words? Because he always gets the lyrics so wrong that they've gone, let's put his version in because everybody will sing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's loads of different lines in this song that are completely different and words that are completely different. It's not like they've like misheard it. It's just, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point they actually, I guess they have to create the lyric booklet in advance of when it's recorded. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm fully convinced it's automated, hence why it's also wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think back in the day when everyone was still buying CDs, I think that you probably did have to submit like the artwork and the words and all that had to be completed way ahead.
Oh, and of course, because this was an 11th hour song, they must have changed it just before
it went to press
the
or
final,
something.
version. Yeah, so just very different.
Great song.
It is.
Great song.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah, and I've also got a fave lyric as well. Quite a few lyrics, but with love in your eyes and flame in your heart, you're going to find yourself some resolution. 1,000,000 miles with one step, you'll find yourself yet walking with the revolution. Make friends with your past and you can leave it at last. It's time to find yourself walking with the revolution. That's really meaningful.
Yeah.
I think, make friends with your past, move on, walk with the revolution.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Love
great.
it. Classic.
Very good.
So let's talk about Handsome Man. It was written by Rob, Guy and Adrian Devoy, a journalist for GQ, Q, The Times, LA Times, Observer and more. Adrian has only ever written 2 songs, this and Cursed. He interviewed Rob in 2000 for Q magazine, and I'm not sure how the song collaboration came about.
No. Rob said, "The world's most handsome man" was a tagline that we'd come up with, and it was one of those days where you just go, we can't say that, can we? And then I thought, no, I can say that because it will rub loads of people up the wrong way who don't like me.
Yeah.
And the people that do like me will hopefully see the funny side of it. It's just a piss take on me. It was touch and go whether it was going to be on the album at all, because the demo was very lightweight and it was too twee. We toughened it up. It sounds a lot harder now. The mindset in the song, and if you don't listen you'll miss it, is that there's all that bravado and how great I think I am in the verses. And then in the chorus it says, if you drop me, I'll fall to pieces on you. If you don't need me, I don't exist. That's the most important bit of the song.
People have this image of me that my persona is, I'm fucking arrogant, cocksure, overconfident, and think I'm it. Handsome Man is obviously who they think I am. Rob sang this in the vocal booth in darkness. When the lights come on at the end, he was naked. What's he like?
The world's most handsome man naked.
I would have loved to have been in that studio.
Yes.
And let's face it, the amount of people and critics, pundits, etc., that probably didn't realise the irony of this song.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they didn't. I can remember at the time. Yeah.
Katie, would you like to go first on this one?
Yes. Okay. The lyrics are just absolute genius.
Oh, yes.
They are.
I've got to mention my favourite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all can come and help me pick the sweet corn out of this.
Yes.
Mine too.
And I've written that down as well.
Yeah. It's just almost, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's meant to be like a look how big a diva I am. People need to, I want things a certain way, like I only want yellow M&Ms or something. I don't know.
I was thinking that quite often this is very lowbrow, but basically if you do a poo,
Yes, Lisa.
quite often you can see the sweet corn
Yes, you can.
still whole in a poo. So he's like, I'm so great that you can come and pick out.
Clean my shit.
Yeah.
I really, really hope that is the actual reason that line is in there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but you're going to help him pick it out, so he's going to do it as well.
Oh, that's true.
Come
yeah.
and help me pick the sweet corn out of this.
I don't know. That's what comes to my head.
I mean, I have so many questions, but I'll save them for another time.
Yes.
And what else do you like about this song, then, Katie?
I think, like I've said, I think it's the lyrics.
Yeah.
I think you can't not love the lyrics of this song. It really is just the biggest piss take.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And for me, it's so Rob. Like, it's that kind of cheeky. Yeah, I think it's a great song.
It is.
Well, I think picking up on what you've said there about it being so Rob, it is. But what I like about it is it's clearly written by Rob about Robbie.
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes.
the hardcore fans listening, well, most people listening, I'm sure, will understand the distinction between the two. Rob also often talks about himself as Rob and his stage persona, or the persona that people sometimes think he is, as Robbie. And as I said, it's ironic. And the lyrics are just hilarious. Every part of the song has good lyrics. To your point, Katie, every single piece of it is just clever and funny.
I've got a massive list of lyrics here.
Go on.
Oh, you literally just read the entire song.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to be humble when you're so fucking big. Did you ever meet a sexier male chauvinist pig? I'm going to milk it till I turn it into cheese. You'll know who I am. I'm still the boy next door. That's if you're Lord Lichfield and Roger Moore. Have I gone up in the world, or has the world gone down on me? That's a great lyric. I'm the one who put the Brit in celebrity. I love that bit. Give in and love it. What's the point in hating me? You can't argue with popularity. Well, you could, but you'd be wrong. Stick that up your arse, enemy.
Oh.
Yeah. I kind of think that's almost exactly what you've said there. It's almost a bit like, two fingers up to all these people, and if you don't understand the meaning that this is a piss take of their song, then you guys are just kind of stupider than you realise, kind of thing.
Yes.
But I think you're right in what you say about the persona. You can almost kind of see, as I read the lyrics of this song, I can see the Robbie persona on stage.
Yeah.
And how that comes across in that song almost.
Yes.
So
it's nice to meet you now. Let me go and wash my hand. That lyric reminds me of the New Year's Eve gig with the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Where he's done the Old Lang Syne with the people at the barrier, and then he's got to go and use the hand sanitizer, which was a joke that got misconstrued, as we all know.
Yeah, but I love that was it Hez Tour, when he then sold hand sanitizer as part of the merchandise. And this was before COVID, and I was like, that's just brilliant.
Yeah, that'll be making a comeback, won't it?
Yeah.
Oh, completely.
I like, can you make me laugh and sign this autograph, though it's not for me? I love that. Because how many people must actually go up to him and say, can you sign this?
And say that.
It's not for me, though. Because it's like, I don't like you, but someone I know likes you, and so this is for them. Yeah. It's that whole little dig. I want something from you, but I don't actually like you myself, kind of thing.
Yeah, it must feel weird when someone says that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think he does kind of start to call people out like that, though, doesn't he? Because I remember outside Loose Women, and as he was signing autographs, and people were shoving kind of CD covers through, and you get all these eBayers, don't you, in terms of that are trying to get the signatures, and they'll just flog them, and he'd be quizzing them on that particular album, and then if they got the answer right, he would sign it, and if they didn't, it was like, no, I'm not signing it. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well done, Rob. I like that.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So let's talk about Come Undone. Written by Rob, Boots Otterstad, Ashley Hamilton, and Daniel Pierre. Otterstad wrote One Fine Day, Come Undone, Get a Little High, Berliner Star, and Do Me Now with Rob. Originally from Norway, he moved to Nashville, USA, and has worked with Paramore, Genevieve, and Tim McGraw, and in his own band called Getaway People. Ashley Hamilton is an American actor, comedian, and singer-songwriter. He was in Beethoven's Second and Iron Man 3 and was married to Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210 for 5 months in 1993 after knowing her for only 2 weeks. He's the son of actor George Hamilton and actress Alana Hamilton Stewart and was in LA-based rock band Fine, who released one album. Daniel Pierre has worked with Joss Stone, but Come Undone? Daniel Pierre has worked with Joss Stone, but Come Undone is his biggest hit.
Come Undone was the second single off the album, released on the 31st of March 2003. It hit number 4 in the UK, 2 in Belgium, and 3 in Romania. Rob said on the Robbie Williams show that this was his favourite off the album. So unimpressed but so in awe, that's the dichotomy of me. I think it's another one of those songs where I just want to dissect a perception of myself. Because I'm scum and I'm your son is not to my family. I saw Tupac come out of a courtroom once and he said, "You put me down, you say I'm this, that or the other, but I'm a product of your environment and I'm still your son, America." That touched me, and I am England's son, and I'm not scum, but I've felt it. Radio 2 banned the song, so a radio edit to remove shit and fuck was created. But Radio 2 also objected to Such a Saint, Such a Whore. They finally agreed to play it when it was changed to So Need Your Love, So Good Luck You All, Such a Saint and Such a Bore. A session singer called Paul Caitlin Birch, who was Paul in the Bootleg Beatles, could do a good approximation of Rob's tone, so he was used to re-record these lines for a Radio 2 edit only.
Really? Someone else?
I know, isn't that crazy that they couldn't even just get Rob to do it?
And they were terrible replacements in terms of lyrics,
I know.
I think. They just don't go.
I know. Good luck you all.
Yeah.
No.
I've tried to find a copy of that to hear it, this other bloke singing, but I couldn't.
Yeah. In Feel, it describes the tension between Rob and Guy due to this song. Guy hated it. Rob kept telling Guy he wanted the finished song to sound more like the demo. Guy insisted it was like the demo. Guy rehearsed a band for a week to record songs for a greatest hits album, then went into the studio with Rob to begin recording. When they started playing Come Undone, Guy had changed the chords of the chorus without telling him, so Rob walked out without discussing it. Told his A&R man Chris Biggs and his manager David Enthoven that it was over with Guy, even if it cost him $250,000 to cancel everything. But he slept on it and changed his mind. Admitted that he was being a diva. Everything was good between them again. They instead agreed to record a new album instead of greatest hits and quickly wrote 3 more songs from scratch and overhauled others.
While recording vocals on Come Undone, the mood was already edgy, with Rob asking Guy if it was piano he'd recorded rather than the original piano. Guy told Rob he thought he could do better vocals, saying, "Put a few more down and we'll compile it and do the best we can." Rob replied, "I'm really sorry you have to do the best you can, you fucking cunt. It must be tough trying to polish a turd."
Ooh.
You wouldn't want to be in that studio, would you?
Nope.
No. When Guy was trying to demand a higher royalty hike, he made 3 contentious statements. One, that he had saved the album, as Rob did some recording in New York, which apparently hadn't worked out, and Guy said he'd come to the rescue. 2, that if Come Undone was to be a single, he wouldn't promote it, he didn't like it, he hated the lyrics and was shocked by them. 3, that he should further be rewarded on top of his regular percentages as part of the forthcoming record deal. As we mentioned earlier, this was the point Rob decided he didn't need Guy anymore, and so they parted company.
So yeah, a lot of it's down to this song.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, Katie, do you want to go first with Come Undone?
Sure. So of all the albums and songs that you guys could have asked me to come and kind of appear on this podcast for,
Yeah.
I think it's just happens to be a complete fluke that it's landed on this song.
Oh.
Because this is my absolute favourite song.
Oh, is it?
It is, yeah, my absolute number one. I can't really tell you why.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because at the time that it came out, with the tours, with Knebworth, etc., it was just obviously one of the kind of songs that was played, and it just reminds me of a really good time.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of seeing him live and just summers, and I don't know, I think it's just that which is why I like it. I love some of the lyrics in it, but just as a song in general, there's something about it that I will never get sick of listening to, I don't think.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, so thanks, guys. Means I got to talk about my favourite song.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Most people we've spoken to don't have a favourite song because they can't pick just one, but you do.
I do. I mean, I have loads that are really high up there, but this will always just kind of peak the kind of the rest of them.
Yeah.
I do wonder how Guy feels about performing this now, because obviously it is performed on every tour.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's
I know.
zones out a little bit when he performs it, or whether he's kind of made his peace with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to know that as well.
Yeah.
It's got a great gig. It's got great lines in it, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It has.
All the dichotomies that he was talking about. So self-aware, so full of shit. That line in particular, when Matt and I went to see him at the Heart gig at Chelsea in 2016 when he was promoting Heavy Entertainment Show, he actually held his microphone out because, I mean, he was like, a metre away?
Yeah.
There was no distance at all between the barrier and the stage, and he held the microphone out, and so I sung the "So Full of Shit" bit into his microphone, and so the whole place could hear it. He pulled a face as if to say I hadn't sung it very well. Yeah.
I think the only way to do it was just be to shout it, I think.
Yeah. And then also on the New Year's Eve gig when we were at the front, we somehow ended up right in front of one of the cameras, and I just knew that this was going to happen. I could almost feel it coming. But we knew when the camera, because it was live on telly, we knew that when we were being aired out live, because the red light would be on this camera in front of us, pointing at us. And of course, it got to that line and the light was red. And I was like, everyone I know is watching and they're going to see me sing "So Full of Shit." So, and our kids were watching as well. And Chloe was only like 5 then. So,
and you were there belting it out, weren't you, Luce?
So, yeah. So, in actual fact, I did say, "and so full of it," when I did it on that occasion, because I couldn't bring myself to say that live on telly with my children watching at home.
I love that you censored yourself.
I did.
Unbelievable. And that was on the BBC as well.
Yeah, it was.
They bloody banned the thing before.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that ridiculous? That says BBC
Yeah, completely.
all over. Well, in fact, it wasn't just on the BBC. It was bloody beamed out all over the world.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, that line always makes me think of those moments.
Yeah. Yeah, completely.
You're so posh, Lucy, honestly. Censoring yourself.
But yeah, so this is another of my favourites as well, Katie. It's an epic song, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, completely.
I think it's the melody.
Yeah.
Just the simpleness almost of the instruments, the guitar and the piano. Matt, what do you think?
Well, I think it's a masterpiece, despite what Guy might maybe still think about it. Maybe he's changed his mind. Like you say, Katie, it'd be nice to know. I just think it's a clever piece of storytelling by Rob again, and just superb lyrics. I love the way he gets the audience to sing "Such a Whore" and "Full of Shit," as Lucy was just talking about. It just has to be done, and it's sort of, it's part of the live set. It just has to be in. Yeah, and I love the opening verse. There's so much going on in it. So impressed, but so in awe. Such a saint, but such a whore. So self-aware, so full of shit. So indecisive, so adamant. I'm contemplating, thinking about thinking. It's so overrated. Just get another drink in. Watch me come undone. I mean...
Yeah, amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about how he's often felt in his life as well, just kind of indecisive, so adamant, thinking about thinking, and just getting another drink in.
I think it's obviously about drugs, really, isn't it? The song. They're selling razor blades and mirrors in the street is a cocaine reference because people use those to divide up the lines. So basically, he's saying they're selling coke in the street, and he's saying he doesn't want to hurt those around him by them being with him when he's coming down from it. That's what I think, anyway. It's obviously not all about that, and I guess those are the bits that maybe Guy didn't like.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, and people were watching him come undone. He was in the public spotlight in the early days of all of those things of, sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of lifestyle that he was leading. And unfortunately we were watching him come undone.
Yeah. And still even
I think at times he was getting, he did, didn't he? Got more press for coming undone, as it were, than for his music. For a very long time it was almost like, are we going to get anything else from him in terms of music? That's definitely what I thought anyway.
It's got real venom and passion in the lyrics, isn't it? Sing a bunch of lies, sing love songs, so sincere, but are all his love songs lies? Is that what he's saying? Because he's at that point never really been in love, he always says.
No.
So therefore he's singing all these songs, but they're not sincere because he's not in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Love it. One of the top 10 Robbie songs for me. I can't have a favourite. I've got top 10 and top 20.
Yeah, I think I've got quite a few that kind of are always like, oh, I love this one more than this one on certain days. But yeah, like I say, they never quite peak this one, I don't think.
Yeah. Let's talk about the video.
Yeah, so the video was also shot by Jonas Åkerlund and was completely banned in the UK. Rob wasn't impressed with most of the ideas that came in, and Jonas's was just a party scene, but Rob had the idea of bugs crawling over people until the place was overrun with vermin, as he'd been watching Fear Factor. You'd love that, wouldn't you, Liz?
No.
Then he had the idea of having sex with a woman who changes into a man and then back into a woman. Not that I'm gay in any way, I just want a really controversial video and to feel what it's like to be pressed up against a man. Let's face it. When Rob is singing in the pink-tiled bathroom, they had to buy the house owner a $5,000 piece of furniture to be allowed to use that room, as it was so special to them. So what do you think about the video then?
Well, it is. So I can see why it was banned. Let's say that. It's like soft porn.
Yeah.
But it's amazing as well. I just think he's really good in it because he's acting in it essentially, isn't he?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be played on daytime telly, is it?
No.
But yeah. But I don't know whether I just think it's great just because I love the song.
Yeah.
I think they could have done, nothing for the video, just been a black screen. I'd be like, yeah, it's brilliant.
And also, I think you've got a little story about this video, haven't you, Katie?
Have I?
Were you there? I believe that you... You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about, yeah.
Do you want to elaborate?
Did Sarah tell you this by any chance?
I think I've seen it. I've seen the video.
Oh, good Lord. So this was actually it was FanFest, I think.
Yeah.
Wanted almost reenactments of Rob's videos. And then I think the idea was that they were going to be played at one of the FanFests. I can't really remember the story now of what it was or why they wanted them. But a group of us decided to recreate Come Undone one night in Birmingham.
Were you in a travel lodge or a Premier Inn or something?
I think it was a travel lodge, Premier Inn. I'm not really sure. I just remember me, Sarah and Alan in a bath at one point.
Yes. But you did all have your clothes on, I may just add.
We did, yeah. I must caveat that, for once, Alan was not naked. We were in the bath recreating certain scenes, so the pink bathroom thing. And I think we were all kind of laid on the floor and the beds at some point.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at some point it will resurface because I think Sarah has the video. I'm not sure. But yeah, we had great fun.
It did look hilarious.
I can't believe you know about that.
Oh, when it came to my mind, I thought I've got to bring that up.
So thought I needed to share it with the Robbie world.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I wondered how many parties Robbie's been to that actually have ended up in scenes like that in real life.
Many.
Yeah.
Many, and he probably couldn't tell you how many because he won't be able to remember.
True. Yeah. And I hope the house owner wasn't too upset with what the final version was and seeing their house looking such a state.
Well, I'm sure they were enjoying their new piece of furniture.
Yes. Yeah.
It's nuts. It's a nuts video.
Yeah.
And I noticed that nearly a minute from the end, maybe just over, there's a scorpion walking across a woman's face.
I know.
So I think he did get a bit of the fear factor in there. Maybe that was his influence.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very LA.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely is. Yeah.
And then there's the flashbacks where he's wandering around the pool and sort of seeing people being pushed in, and there's a sofa in the pool and just furniture all over the place. And then, oh yeah, there's sort of maggoty type things in it, and oh yeah, very, very raunchy towards the end. Lots of lots of pixelated images.
Parts.
Just looking at it now, reminding myself. I can understand why it was banned at the time. Yeah. Maybe it wouldn't be now.
I think it would.
You think it still would?
Well, no, maybe they'd show it late night, but yeah, it wouldn't be on daytime telly, that's for sure.
After the watershed.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of bonking in it, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm sure Rob enjoyed it anyway. So, should we go on to the next song, which is Me and My Monkey? Written by Rob and Guy, Rob recorded the vocals in the dark. While introducing it on the Robbie Williams show, he said he had always wanted to write a story song like A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. The monkey is a bandido on the run. Rob performed this on tour in 2003 as well as on the Take the Crown tour in 2013 and the Australasian leg of the Let Me Entertain You tour in 2015. It's a big fan favourite, but Rob often says it's too wordy and he can't be asked to sing it. After a shooting in Las Vegas from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel in 2017, in which 60 people died and 867 were wounded at a country music show, the parallels of the mention of a gun, the Mandalay Bay Hotel, and the 33rd floor were noticed by some media outlets and people. Rob said he feels it's now inappropriate to play it live again, which makes me sad. What do we think of Me and My Monkey?
I'll go.
Yeah, go on.
Again, another song that I really like from this album.
Yeah.
I love that it's the way that it's kind of created as a story.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes you from the beginning and it tells the story and how some of it is almost talking, isn't it? Rather than singing at points. But yeah, again, I just think it's quite a clever lyric.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to work out deep and meaningful things behind it, but never really come to any conclusions.
Well, I think it's maybe to do with drugs, because when you say you've got a monkey on your back is your addiction, and so basically is the monkey like his addiction side of him, and it's almost like two parts of him, and this monkey's like a separate entity that is sort of controlling him.
Yeah, I think I've had similar kind of thoughts on that before, because I think if you really dig into the lyrics, I think it does suggest that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That it's almost like him kind of, narrating his kind of relationship almost with that monkey, which, is that kind of addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually wondered whether the monkey is the human character in the song, really.
Oh,
and whether the monkey's actually the metaphor for what the person's actually doing in the song. So obviously the video, shows him and a monkey, but yeah, I think it's got to be something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's such a shame that I can understand why he doesn't want to, and it's probably quite appropriate, but such a shame he can't sing it live anymore.
I know.
But a very respectful move on his part. It's just, it's another one of those classic pieces of storytelling. I mean, it's just such an interesting story, and I think I mentioned before I've stayed at the Mandalay Bay Hotel for a slightly boring business conference in 2005 time. I think it might have been that sort of time frame. It's a really nice hotel, actually. So it's a shame that it's sort of tainted with that memory a little bit of what happened there. But yeah.
I like the mention of rollerblades.
Yes.
Because I used to do rollerblading as a teenager.
Rollerblading.
I still have my rollerblades, but they're a bit broken now. And I Left My Wallet in El Segundo is a song by hip hop group A Tribe Called Quest, apparently, which I hadn't known before doing this research. Also, when he's singing it live, I like it when the Sheena Easton bit, he sometimes changes that to like Justin Bieber or One Direction. So Harry Styles was a blast, baby.
I think he did it in, I saw him in Dublin, and I think he changed it to Westlife.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Very empathetic.
Yeah.
That's good.
It is a great track live. And yeah, kind of a shame in a way, but obviously for the right reasons that we won't get to hear it again. But I think it's, I don't know, it always seems to kind of be quite well received by a crowd when it's sung live, even if you don't really know the song. I think it still comes across really well.
Yeah. I think the trumpets make this song. I don't know if you've sort of noticed, but they're really good trumpets all the way through.
Well done to the
I like the
section.
trumpets in this one.
And it's also one of my mum's favourite Robbie songs. She loves this one. Yeah. I can remember her commenting after we'd been at Knebworth and she watched it on telly. Oh, I liked that song with the monkey.
So should we move on and talk about song 3?
Yeah.
This was written by Rob and Guy, and he recorded it wearing a full Superman outfit. In Somebody Someday, Steve Power asks Rob, "What's the song called?" Rob says, "It's called Song 3. Song 3. Shall we put down Song 3? Shall we do that, Dave? We've got it, haven't we? Shall we do that? Song 3. So there you go. That's how that came about. It's a nod to the Blur song called Song 2 on their 5th album. Rob covered Song 2 on his American tours in '99, as well as in Dublin at Slane Castle, which you can also find on YouTube.
I think you were at that gig, weren't you, Katie?
I was at that gig, yeah. Yeah.
With Elaine?
I was, yes, with Elaine. One of the longest runs ever to the front barrier, that one.
Oh, wow.
and Elaine lost her shoe halfway down the hill, and I just remember picking up her shoe and going, "Keep going!"
Oh no!
And I just reunited her with a shoe, and we got to the front.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a massive gig, that one.
Yeah.
Huge gig. Yeah.
I hadn't realised you were front row for that. Can you see you on the telly?
I think it's just I think it's the end, somewhere around All Before I Die.
Right.
But yeah, it was mad. I think it rained a lot.
Yeah.
And I had a pair of grey trousers on, and I've got a picture with one of the girls at the end, and there's literally just this very small piece of just dry grey trouser left on me because it was just absolutely poured the entire time.
And Elena was saying to us that she now makes sure that you have a ticket for everything that happens in Ireland that's Robbie related.
Yeah.
Without even asking you, she just gets it.
Yeah, she she'll just be like, "Oh, we've got your ticket," and it's just assumed now that I will go.
Brilliant.
She kind of invited me over once, and she was the first person I ever actually queued for Robbie with, so it's all her fault. And yeah, it's just normally Dublin or Belfast.
Yeah.
It's an automatic thing, and yeah, so that's really cool that's come out of it.
Brilliant. So Rob said, I went to the Coachella Festival and saw lots of bands, and I didn't think there was anything really good there. And I just thought, I can do that. But that's just the first verse. I think the majority of it is just the excitement of being in Los Angeles and truly, on a daily basis, belly laughing and feeling a lot of the time I'm indestructible. It sort of says everything and nothing all at the same time.
So, song 3. It actually does remind me of song 2 by Blur.
Yeah.
Because that's like a crazy, like weird, just mental rock.
A bit all over the place.
Yeah. I love it. I love that song. I love Blur. But that song, something about it is amazing. And
great song.
And that's the same with this song. It's just crazy, shouty, sort of heavy kind of song. And in song 2, it does say, got my head checked by a jumbo jet. And Rob says, I'm hearing voices like a jumbo J in this song.
A little nod there, yeah.
What do you think of this song, Katie?
Yeah, again, another song that I like from this album. Again, great lyrics.
Matt?
Love it. Big rock number. I only really learned why this song was called Song 3 as we were doing the research. Spent all those years I probably did know back in the day, but I probably forgot.
Yeah.
I get Rob's comment about it saying everything and nothing at the same time. Yeah. I had to look up Crenshaw Boulevard as well.
Oh, yeah, I looked that up.
Yeah.
Because it says, don't go to Crenshaw Booley because Whitey can get fleeced or something. It's a lyric.
Did you find out where it was?
Yeah, so it just looks like a sort of normal road in LA, doesn't it?
It's a road in LA.
With like shops on it.
Yeah.
Like superstores, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, like hardware stores type places.
Yeah.
Maybe it's known for sometimes having a little bit of trouble, possibly.
Yeah.
Who knows? And I love the shouty parts. I'm hearing voices like a I thought it was Jumbo Jet, but it's Jumbo J, you say. Too many choices. Gotta love LA, California, you know that.
Yeah.
It's like shrieking it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
At the end where he's going, gotta love LA, California, USA. When it's saying USA, I've got a misheard lyric. Somehow I thought he was saying, who's dead? I don't know how I heard that, but that is what I heard.
Nowhere near the same.
I know.
Hang on a minute. Is that in a different song of his? Who's dead?
No, it's this one.
Oh, then I hear it too.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's not just me.
I was like, yeah, that's in one of his other songs. No, it's not. Okay, cool.
So
yeah,
sure
no,
there's
I
not
hear
some
that.
backing vocals or something that say it.
No, because when I really actually listened to it, I realised that it is USA. It's just the way he says it. It sort of sounds like who's dead? Who's dead? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I was totally with you, Lucy.
Yeah. I feel gigantic, gonna burst a vein. I'm stopping traffic. I like those bits. Yeah. Got anything?
Why is it those lyrics in particular?
I don't know. I just like the way he sings it. I feel gigantic. I'm going to burst a vein. It's just the way he sings it is, you know, like those lyrics say, he's like gigantic and he's going to burst a vein singing it because of the way he's sort of shouting it.
Great explanation.
Should we go on to Hot Fudge then?
Yes.
So written by Rob and Guy, Rob said, at the school I went to, I'd be thinking about what it must be like to be Lisa Stansfield. It was when she was becoming successful in America. I wonder what it's like to be that, to do that, to go there and see these people. It's a celebration of finding myself. Matt, would you like to go first on Hot Fudge?
Yeah, I would. Oh, I like this song. It's another very funky track. Yeah, it's just... It kind of reminds me a little bit of in the same ballpark as Revolution, actually. But I just love the funkiness of this and love the cowbell in this one. Just the right amount of cowbell. Remember the cowbell?
No, I don't
Lucy's
remember the
Little
cowbell.
Puzzle. There's definitely cowbell in it. Listen for the cowbell. Some of the American audience will get the cowbell reference, but I won't explain that. Misheard lyric, Collagen Genie, I actually thought was Caller Genie.
Yeah, I didn't
Because
hear that as well.
There's a David Bowie song that's Genie or something,
Yeah,
like
there is,
that.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought it was Call a Genie. And then when we were looking at the lyrics, it's collagen.
I hadn't realised that.
Matt, I'm again, I clearly hear the same lyrics as you guys.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're not mishearing them and the rest are wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear the same as you, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never knew it was Collagen Genie.
But it makes sense because it then says, you big lip me.
Lip
Yeah,
mama.
it made
Yeah.
absolute sense when you read it back. A
Yeah.
big lip meanie, yes. It makes a lot of sense.
Got to be blown away. Yeah.
It's got great lyrics, hasn't it? Take the piss, always English.
Always English. Yeah. I feel like you could do an entire episode on misheard lyrics. I think we would fill it.
We could. Does he merge in listen to the music?
Yeah, when he's singing it live.
When he's singing it live, I thought so.
It does
Yeah.
sometimes. He sort of starts going, listen to the music.
Yeah.
He does, doesn't he, Katie? We're not making...
He does, yeah.
What do you reckon, Katie?
Great live. Another really good live one. Really gets, I think, everybody kind of up and dancing about on this song. It will always remind me of Knebworth, this one. I think just because I always just think about the dancers and they came all the way down the down the B stage and the runway, didn't they? So,
And he sang,
yeah.
I'm moving back to the UK, didn't he?
That's right, yeah, yeah.
But he didn't.
He didn't. But yeah, just a great live song,
Yeah.
this one.
Yes.
Really good live. Yeah.
With a nation behind me, can't stop the limey. I didn't know what that was for a long time, you know.
A limey.
That Americans call British people limeys. It's weird, isn't it? Well, I find it weird.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's what that line means. Because apparently we all had Lyme's disease or something. That's what they used to think. Something to do with that. That's where it comes from.
A really flattering reference
Yes,
for us.
Exactly.
I thought it was to do with us having to eat limes because we had scurvy.
Oh, is it?
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, you might be right.
Oh, hang on. It was on that page back there. Limey is a predominantly American slang for a British person that's been around since the mid-19th century. Limey is considered a derogatory remark. It was originally used as a derogatory word for sailors in the British Royal Navy. Since the beginning of the 19th century, it has been practiced for Royal Navy to add lemon juice to sailors' daily rationing of grog. The vitamin C in citrus fruits prevented scurvy and helped to make these sailors some of the healthiest at the time. At that time, lemon and lime were used interchangeably to refer to citrus fruits.
Ah, there we go. So that's why we're called limeys.
Yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to leave that in now. That's why we're limeys. Okay. And by 1925, the usage of limey in American English had become extended to mean any British person.
Right, so should we go on to Cursed?
Yes.
Cursed was written by Rob, Guy and Adrian Devoy again. It's a homage to a friend of Rob's who had passed away. He said, "St. Peter's going to be unfaithful. Tell God he's got a dirty angel. It's very sexy. I've tried to do it as rock and roll as I could to fit them and still be loving. I mourn their loss." So I don't know who it's about, but I presume, I don't know, is it a girl that he may have gone out with? I'm not sure. What do you think, Katie? Like this song?
I do, yes.
Yes.
I'm sounding like a broken record now, aren't I? I like this album.
I think most Robbie fans do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, another one with kind of lyrics that are, I think, quite Rob-esque as well.
Tell God he's got a dirty angel. I like that.
Yeah.
The way he sings that line as well. It's just... Yeah.
And I like how it goes all sort of quiet. Hush, baby, sleep now. We all love you. We always did. I like the contrast of that sort of quiet bit with the high energy of the rest of the song. Yeah, it's really nice. Be interesting to know who it's about, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it hard to actually work out what the song's about.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
At all, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost just kind of random thoughts on paper.
Yeah.
I think it probably is about a girlfriend, isn't it?
Yeah, but they've passed away, so... Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe it may have just been a friend, not necessarily someone he dated.
Wasn't there an earlier, I want to say B-side, and I can't remember that, which has a similar theme in terms of a girlfriend, something about postcard. Do you know the one I mean?
Oh, the postcard, yeah.
Yeah, can you remember the one I mean?
Yeah, I can.
That's something I'm sure about.
I wasn't sure whether...
Has a lyric about somebody passing away, a
yeah,
girl.
it did, you're right.
Well, I mean, they might not be linked at all, but it's just reminded me of that one. I think it was a B-side on one of the early singles, maybe?
Yes. I think... I can't remember which one it was, but...
No.
Oh, no. See, that was written by Duffy, because I thought it wasn't written by him. It's Stephen Duffy.
Oh, okay.
It must be written by Stephen Duffy, I guess.
Yeah.
Just trying to find the credits for that one. Yeah, Stephen Duffy.
Huh. Just a random thought that popped into my head then.
Yeah. But you're right. They do sort of feel like they're linked, those songs.
Yeah.
But I guess they weren't.
No. Puts an end to that theory.
Yes.
I love the kind of hardcore rock vibe on this one. It's sort of contrast, doesn't it? Because 1 minute he's going, rock vibe.
Yeah.
And then it's like a quieter sort of ballady sort of line with the piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes off again. It's clever. And Rob just sings it with such a rock vocal. I mean, it's just powerful. Yeah, and I guess it's a lovely homage to whoever his friend was that passed away.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop the lyrics from being a bit weird, of course, but that's normal.
You sound surprised.
Yeah. We're not supposed to understand all these things, are we? That's the point.
No, I think that's the thing. I think some of it is just...
But,
yeah. It was just lyrics. It was just a song,
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So, let's move on to Nan's song. This was written purely by Rob. I completely wrote everything, the words and the music. I'm constantly amazed that I have some creativity to actually present something I've done and look at it is amazing, and to have people listen to it and cry is phenomenal. It's about my nan who passed away. She was a lovely person and she loved me to death, and I thought it was only fitting that my first ever song should be about someone I love. In the film Nobody Someday, it shows Rob writing this on the tour bus, And an original lyric included, "The whole world knows my name." He explained that when he was younger, he would get angry with his nan, because he could be, because it felt safe for him to express himself with her. Now he could feel her with him.
In Feel, it outlines the song's recording. Rob says, "Let's do Nan's song before I get boisterous." He then nails the song quickly and movingly, and when he finishes his vocal, there's applause. When he performs this on the Robbie Williams show, Gary Nuttall has to join him on stage to play the middle 8 on the guitar, as Rob couldn't do it himself. Even though he wrote the song himself, he couldn't actually play that bit. I find that a bit weird. I guess he told someone else what he wanted it to sound like. So, what do we think of Nan's song, Matt?
Yeah, it's just an absolutely heartfelt and beautiful song, which I think Robbie should be extremely proud of indeed. And I always love to hear it. I think he sings it really sincerely, beautifully. Yeah, really like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Katie?
Yeah, I totally agree with Matt. I think he's done it a couple of times, hasn't he, on tour, but it's almost been like acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say, yeah, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
His vocal is so good on it because obviously it means so much to him. And I think I remember it was Phoenix Park, which kind of was after Knebworth.
Yeah.
And he came out and sat at the end of the B stage to sing it, and it absolutely poured with rain. But it was just, I don't know, in a way, I always remember that like kind of performance of the song for some reason. But yeah, I think it's a great vocal by him on this one.
What do you think, Lucy?
Well, yeah, it's amazing, beautiful, moving. You went to a better place, but he stole you away from me. That's a nice lyric, isn't it? There's a strange kind of light caressing me tonight. Pray silence my fear. She is near, bringing heaven down here. I love that bit. And I love the ending especially. The next time that we meet, I will bow at her feet and say, "Wasn't life sweet? Then we'll prepare to take heaven down there." I like that bit especially.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, now once he's in heaven, he'll be going down to visit someone else on earth, like his nan visits him while he's on earth. I like that. Was it his mum's mum that this is about? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Betty, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Bless. It's a lovely end to the album. Well,
it is,
sort of end to the album.
Yes. Official end. Should we move on to the real end?
Yeah.
Or the end before the end?
The sort of middle end.
The middle end. And the middle end that we speak of is the hidden track, How Peculiar Reprise, or Save the Children. Written by Rob and Guy, this is a track that plays immediately after Nan's song finishes as a secret track. On the US CD, it's listed as its own track called How Peculiar Reprise. Didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah, so it has got an official name. But I don't think it sounds anything like How Peculiar, so I don't really understand why it's a reprise of How Peculiar. Because when I played them both one after another, and I couldn't really see the resemblance.
Maybe you're struggling for song titles.
Yeah.
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 Or maybe it was somehow originally attached to that song and they detached it from that song.
Yeah. I used to love when you got the hidden tracks on CDs.
Yeah.
You'd have to leave it running for ages.
Yeah.
see if anything else would happen.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Except those times when you forget and then
it would
belting
scare you.
out.
It scares you. Things got weird like a 3-year-old with a beard.
Yeah.
Like a vision of Britney Spears. It's got typical Rob weird lyrics in this song.
And a tuna always seared.
Yeah.
Don't forget that bit.
Exactly. What do you think, Katie? You like this little bit?
Very Rob, isn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of almost feel like, the kind of Nan's song is obviously kind of very sweet and relatively sad.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like, let's just put a bit of Robin again.
Yes.
He loves a contrast and a contradiction, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He
Yes,
does.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the choir build up on it and the electric guitars twanging away. It's, interesting little track.
Not much to say about it though, really, is there?
Save the children. Repeat, fade out. That's what I've got here.
And then
The real end.
the real end is I Tried Love, written by Robbie, which appears after about 6 minutes of silence after How Peculiar reprise. So I love this song. The lyrics are hilarious. This is another typical Robbie. Did Sooty sleep with Sue? That comment always makes me smile, mainly because I used to do PR for Sooty and Sweep. In
one of Lucy's claim to fame.
Yeah, actually around
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I used to
You used to do PR.
Yeah, for
Sooty and Sweep.
Yes, I did. They were one of my clients when I worked in the PR agency. Yeah.
She used to talk to them and everything, Katie.
No, they don't talk.
Wow.
They don't talk. No, they don't. They wave
We
at
have
you and
so
do
much
sign
to
language.
talk about in our next queue.
Yeah. Well, it was actually around the time that Escapology came out that I was working
Oh, really?
on them. Yeah.
There's some very British comments in this song, isn't there?
Yes, there
I mean,
is.
Sooty and Sue is a very British thing. I like, what are the holes in biros for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what are they for?
Well, it isn't the hole in the lid for if you accidentally swallow it, so that you can still just about breathe.
Yes, if it gets stuck in your windpipe, throat, wherever, the hole allows you to breathe, apparently.
Yeah.
But what about the little hole halfway up?
Don't
on the
know
main
what that's
pen?
for. No.
Oh, no.
No.
I wonder if Rob knows now. Or maybe he never got, maybe it was never answered.
And then which one's which in the chorus makes me laugh, because I think he should know that, shouldn't he?
Yes.
Because
Yes, he should.
I think apparently he may have
Ah,
had a little
fling.
fling with one of them. I don't know which one, because I don't know which one's which.
I want to say, was her name Andrea?
Yeah, might have been Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea
yes.
Core, yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the best lines ever: does God ever get it wrong? Where has Gary Barlow gone?
Of course there was going to be a Barlow dig at some point in this album.
Oh dear, what's he like?
I think all the lyrics are brilliant in this, but the bit that I picked up on is, why is there ketchup on my sleeve?
Yes.
Do you think Adam fancied Eve? What if Eve could not conceive and he had to breathe with Steve? We'd all be gay. It's just funny and clever.
Just madness.
Yeah.
And then he says, I've put, my notes are, another song with great lyrics and important questions that do need answering, but don't probably have an answer. And then he says, you're a bore and I'm not.
Yeah. I like that bit as well.
I kind of feel like it's just an absolute mash of kind of eclectic thoughts.
Yeah.
Of questions that he was always wanted answered.
Yeah.
And he's decided to make it into a song.
It would be hilarious if he sung this live, like at an
Oh my
Under the
God, it'd be
Radar
brilliant.
concert. It'd be so funny.
You could have a banner saying you were PR for something. So.
Yeah, we need to make that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. We'll have to have the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast logo on the side of it, but that's fine. We can do that.
I can't remember whether I ever actually asked the family
Whether Sooty slept with Sue.
what the relationship was between Sooty and Sue.
Yeah.
I can't really remember.
They were
So
just
long
special
ago.
friends.
Yeah, I think they did.
I mean,
say
we
they
should
were just
probably
friends.
clarify for international listeners who Sooty and
Good
Sue
idea, Katie. What actually are they?
They were puppets.
Hand puppets.
Hand puppets.
Yes.
Yes.
A children's television program. Yes, and Sooty never spoke. And Sweep just squeaked, and the only one that spoke was Sue, who was a girl.
So was she a panda?
She was a panda.
Yeah, and Sooty was a bear.
Yeah,
And they all lived in a
Sweep
house
was a dog.
happily together, except when Sweep used to get a bit annoyed and start hitting people and
Yeah.
freaking out. Good cultural reference there, Katie.
Yes.
That's a good one to make sure that everyone knows who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was I going to say about this? There was something else about this song. I was wondering whether the way this song has such weird lyrics and like just random stuff all layered together. I wonder whether Robbie actually built this up over time.
Yeah.
Because you know how he hasn't released a comments section, but obviously those of us that see him on Instagram saw him doing the karaoke. He started developing the comments section song.
Yeah.
And you saw him like adding a few lines every time he sang it and different bits. I just wonder whether this was like some of his musings, whether he was writing these little things down and just strung them all together.
Yeah.
And it became a little ditty at the end. I don't know. Let us know.
Because they don't really make much sense as being just one consistent long thought.
Right. Yes.
I feel like they have, he's picked up a pen and been like, what does this hold it? And he's, I don't know, heard a chorus song on the radio and thought, hang on a minute.
Right, I think we need to move on to the tour now.
Mm.
Weekends of Mass Distraction. The European Weekends of Mass Distraction tour saw Robbie play to 1.2 million people over 21 shows. He opened in Edinburgh at Murrayfield and played in France, Austria, Denmark, Sweden, 5 nights in Germany, 2 nights in the Netherlands and 2 in Belgium, before ending in Dublin at Phoenix Park. The most famous nights of the tour are the 3 he played at Knebworth Park on the 1st to the 3rd of August, to 375,000 people across 3 shows. Ticket sales for the UK dates broke all sales records, selling out in less than 8 hours, making it the biggest music event up to that point in British history. The tour was preceded by a warm-up gig in Paris.
After Knebworth, all of Rob's other albums ended up back in the top 100, as well as Escapology hitting number 1 in the UK again. The tour also had a big impact on his European sales, especially in France, where Escapology hit the top 3 for the first time. The band included Max Beasley for the first time, as well as Mark Platty as musical director, replacing Guy, and Neil Taylor on guitar, who replaced Phil Eisler. Otherwise, the band remained the same as the previous tours, with Chris on drums, Claire on guitar and keyboards, and Yolande on bass. He later claimed he didn't sleep with any of the dancers, which was a big regret. They were good dancers as well.
Yeah. One of the dancers was Gareth Gates' fiance, so I should certainly hope he didn't sleep with her. The set list of 17 songs was Let Me Entertain You, Let Love Be Your Energy, Monsoon, Come Undone, Strong, Me and My Monkey, Hot Fudge, Mr. Bojangles, One for My Baby, which got dropped, She's the One, Supreme, No Regrets, Kids, Feel, Ecstasy, merging into Rock DJ, Millennium and Angels.
He was supported by Ash, Kelly Osbourne, Moby and The Darkness, as well as Skin and The Cardigans at some venues. Rob's big entrance on stage saw him hung upside down like he appeared on the album cover, which was actually production manager Wob Roberts' idea. Most nights it worked as a shot of adrenaline. The fact that you're upside down and the curtains are going to be drawn back and there's going to be thousands of people staring at you, it certainly is a fantastically weird way to see an audience.
Typically for Rob at the time, he didn't fully rehearse the whole set before the opening night in Edinburgh. He hadn't even seen what was going to happen in the last few songs or the encores before the first night. Edinburgh is the first time his Spice Girl joke appeared. With Max here, it's difficult not to do any Spice Girls jokes. But I'll say this, we've only got to do one more and we'll have had a pop on all of them between the two of us.
The way that We Will Rock You precedes Monsoon, a trick Rob has used a lot since, came about as a fluke on stage in Vienna when it just popped into Rob's head. It worked so well, it was properly added to the set the following night. Still needs to do We Are the Champions, though. Rob did rehearse a few songs at Knebworth before the first gig, doing a snippet of Hot Fudge, all of Come Undone, all of Kids, a bit of Better Man with invented lyrics about the people of Knebworth, and some of Nan's song. He said, "I'm trying not to take it in. I think that's the best thing to do. I think with these 3 gigs, the pressure's really on for me just to get through them, because you know all these gigs are being filmed and stuff. There's a possibility that after Knebworth, I might not be able to do that sort of thing ever again. So this is going to be like that piece of film that you associate Robbie Williams with. You know, like when you see Freddie Mercury, you associate him with Wembley Stadium."
Rob flew in by helicopter. He said, "Johnny saw the crowd before me and he just went, 'Fuck me, youth.' I looked over to see what he could see, and there was that sea of people. It looked as though the whole world had come to see me, this awe-inspiring sight, and every part of me wanted to hijack the helicopter and fly somewhere else." He didn't say anything for a long time, then told everyone, "It's all right for you. You haven't got to get up in front of the fuckers." After the first night, he said it was fun once he got used to it, but he only allowed himself to enjoy it to a certain amount, as he knew he had to save some of himself for the next 2 nights. My body put its own cap on itself.
On the second night, the Saturday, which was broadcast with a time delay on Channel 4 in the UK, Rob was on edge and raced through the set, meaning he wouldn't fill the contracted TV time. Asked to sing Millennium during a costume change to fill the time, he said, "No, I've lost my balls, lost my bollocks. I've been shitting it since Monkey. I'm just so scared. I think it's probably the live telly thing, and there's 125,000 people out there. I'm all right, but it's not comfortable. But don't worry, I'll go out and act my bollocks off." Afterwards, he explained, "That was all will over want. What I wanted was to disappear with the piano after Bojangles. Due to the time lag and the adverts being added in throughout the show, he got back to the hotel to see himself still on TV, supposedly live. The Rob on TV says he's the happiest man on the planet. The Rob in real life watching said, didn't say which planet."
And you know me, he says, "Fortunately, for the longest time in my career, I've been able to count on the fact that no matter what I'm feeling inside, people can't read it on the outside. Even my best friends and management have never been able to read what's going on the inside when I'm on stage. Even though the crowd are loving it from the start, it makes no odds. There's still 125,000 of them. I've got to pretend now, as is my act, that I think I'm 100 men, a caged lion being unleashed on this public that's waiting to be entertained, that I'm so confident that I can hold them all in the palm of my hand and entertain them, and make them feel loved, make them laugh, make them cry, make them go home happy. I think it was probably about 8 songs into the show until I actually said, 'I'm back.'"
The third night at Knebworth saw him joined on stage by Mark Owen for Back for Good. Looking back, he said, "The day before the first show, I'd convinced myself that I wasn't nervous, that it would be a walk in the park with a few friends and it would be cool. And then I woke up the next morning and my body ached and my calves were sore and my thighs were like rocks and the base of my spine was sort of welded together in a very uncomfortable way. I tried my best to convey to everyone that everything was great, and inside, it just wasn't. It felt as though the eyes of the world were just about to set upon me." When asked about kissing fans on stage every night, he said, "I'd always try and pick one that was attractive, but it's difficult to know what's below the barrier, so you never know what you were going to get. Sometimes it got a bit scary. I'm just acting. They're in it for real. It was showmanship mixed with a bit of pleasure." You never know what you're going to get below the barrier.
That's the best quote ever.
I always imagine that there's always a bit of a BO issue as well with the poor girl that has been stood all day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Katie, we picked you to come on this episode because we know that you were front row twice at Knebworth.
I was, yeah. Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, I see.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
I don't know why we ended up, I think, going twice. I think we were both trying for tickets. One was one day, one was the other, and I think we just got them both, and we were like, we don't want to give them up now that we've got them.
Yeah.
And I remember we were staying in a hotel not far, and we arrived on the Friday, and we went to, there was a pub right by where we were staying, and if you stood in the garden, you could see the top of the stage.
Oh.
And you could just hear it. And we were like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And we didn't even, I think we must have got there at maybe 6 a.m, if not later than that. It wasn't like it is now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, I'll never know how we did it, but we were pretty much in the same spot on both nights.
Oh, whereabouts were you?
So we were at the end of the B stage, and if you were Rob looking out into the crowd, we were on the left-hand corner almost of the B stage where the kind of barrier went round.
Yeah.
I'll never know how we did it. And those gigs, even for me, were, I guess, a bit like how Rob viewed them. They were just, I've never got my head around how many people were there.
Yeah.
And even when I see the video now, if I watch the DVD or I see any of the photos, it blows my mind the amount of people that were there.
Yeah.
And I just remember at the time it was huge, and obviously because it was one of the biggest things the UK had done. And I think I remember even Radio 1 did a piece from there, and Radio 1 never played Robbie.
Yeah.
Because I remember Chris Moyles being there and kind of doing stuff from it. And the Sunday night after the gig, I remember because of the delay, because it took so long to get out of the gig, they played what was left of the show on Channel 4 over the big screens.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was on the Saturday night, wasn't it? Because we went to the Saturday and that was the one that was televised. So I think that must have been the Saturday.
Oh, was it the Saturday? Yeah. Whichever night was televised.
No, I'd forgotten that they did that.
Yeah. Because I remember we just kind of ended up sat in the pit because we were like, there's no point trying to get out. So we sat in the pit on the floor amongst all the rubbish and just watched the rest of it. And then was like, right, we'll try and get out again now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, they were incredible gigs. I'm so glad I kind of was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of struggled to get my head around it a little bit still.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So you guys did the Saturday?
Yeah, we went on the Saturday with our friend Star and your brother and his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
We got there really early because I had been to see Oasis at Knebworth in '96, and I never saw Oasis with my own eyes at that concert. I was so far back. Wow. It was just pointless almost. You just watching a screen. I was like, you could be anywhere. Yeah. You got the vibe, but it annoyed me that I never actually saw them with my own eyes. So I was like, I'm not having that with Robbie. We're getting there early. And so I persuaded the others to get there early, and Star drove on his own, I guess. I think he must have driven on. Oh no, his sister came with us.
That's right. Yeah,
his sister. So him and his sister came in their car, and then we went in our car with your brother and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And as we were driving up towards Knebworth, we happened to be next to each other in the cars somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And we literally drove into the car parks with their car in front of us, and they sent him to one car park and us to another car park. And you can imagine what happened at the end. We'll come to that.
God.
But yeah, and it was just amazing. So yeah, we were there when the gates opened, but we chose not to go right to the front, which is a mistake looking back. But back then we were a bit freaked out, I think, by how big it was.
We were just a little bit worried about the size of the crowd. Yeah, it was something.
And being stuck there all day, we couldn't.
Yeah,
really
I don't remember even going out to the toilet. I don't remember how we got any food or water. I literally can't remember if one of us went out in the day or not. But I remember, I think it started quite early, didn't it? Because
Yeah.
they had obviously all the support acts, so they kind of, it wasn't like it started at 7 p.m. I think it was quite mid-afternoon, wasn't it?
We weren't quite as well trained back in those days.
No.
You know, we also had family and friends with us
Yeah.
who
didn't
I
want
don't think
to,
would have
yeah.
appreciated being stuck in one place. They didn't quite understand the logic of not going to the toilet for six hours,
Yeah.
you know, or not being able to get out. And I think that freaked a few people out.
Yeah.
So I think Lucy sometimes blames me for not getting closer.
No,
but I
did agree.
I think it was a little bit more of, looking out for the people that we were with.
Yeah.
So we would have probably gone slightly closer, but we had a really great view from there.
Although being short and having lots of people in front of me, I didn't have the best view. So I don't know if Matt remembers this, but he actually made me a step
Out of rubbish.
out of a rubbish bag.
I do remember that. It's happened at more than one gig. Aren't I nice?
That's brilliant.
A step out of rubbish. I mean, how romantic
Love
does
that.
it get?
So I
love
watched Knebworth stood on a pile of rubbish.
I mean, to be fair, most of us did anyway
Yeah.
by the time,
Yeah.
especially by the Sunday. It was
Oh, I can imagine.
incredible. But yeah, I think we were kind of more freaked out by the thought of being in the middle of that
Yeah.
just huge crowd. And I think that's what, and we were just a bit like, oh, well, we'll go relatively early and see, because obviously the barrier was absolutely massive
Yeah.
anyway. But yeah, it was just incredible, that gig.
Well, we did have the Gold Circle ticket, the passes, because we
Yes,
were there early
yeah.
enough for that. But
Yeah.
and we were able to get in and out. I managed to get out and meet my friend Laura for a drink and we used the toilets and stuff. And I have got a horrible memory. I don't know whether I should say it or not. We can always edit it out, see what Katie thinks. But it was actually the time of the month for me, and having to use the Portaloo after the
Oh,
concert
God.
in the pitch black because there were no lights, and obviously I didn't have a phone,
No phones. No.
so there was no torch. So going to use the Portaloo in the pitch black and dealing with that is something that has still stuck with me now, as you can imagine by the fact that I still remember it.
Yes. Scarred for life.
So that was another reason I wouldn't have wanted to be right at the front and stuck in there all day as well. So
Yeah, I mean, I think wherever you were for that gig, it was, I think just being there in that kind of park, or I guess, I think was just incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like looking back at it now, and I remember when they did all the 10th anniversary stuff, and I watch it now and I still kind of just want to, I don't sit down and watch it, I have to stand up and watch it so I can have a bit of a bounce and dance
yeah.
around to it.
Well, you are on the footage a few times as well. There's a massive close-up of your face at one point.
Oh my God,
isn't
it's so awful. Yeah. Yes, there is. I have very short hair. And we are in the live DVD cover, and I think a couple of the other bits. Yes.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'll have another look at that.
The big picture in the middle.
Oh.
I think I have my camera in front of my face.
right.
The old school kind of cameras that, before mobile phones. But yeah, I think even though there's gigs for me that, are really up there just because of, like I love the smaller gigs, but I think Knebworth has to, for me, always be one of the top gigs just purely because, nothing's been kind of like that since, in a way.
Yeah.
And then obviously we were all together at the Hyde Park gig.
Yeah.
And for me, when him at that Hyde Park gig really reminds me of him in Knebworth in a way, because it was that kind of big scale gig again.
With all the hits.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Hyde Park is one of my favourite gigs, but I think that's because it was like, oh wow, this reminds me so much of Knebworth.
Yeah.
It was just vast.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Such a show. And I know what you mean about likening it to the Hyde Park gig. I just remember Knebworth just being so sprawling and so wide, just the vastness of that stage alone, and then the audience around it was just something else. And watching it back on the DVD, it's kind of surreal to think that we were there. You know?
Yeah, completely. When you kind of go, I was in all those people.
Yeah.
It's.
But I just remember I think we were a bit freaked out by the crowd, as you said. But I remember once things really got going, the atmosphere was just
incredible.
Amazing. Yeah. And
he was on his A game as well, wasn't he? It was, as he says, it was the imperial phase of his career.
Yeah. I remember the helicopter coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You could see it, couldn't you? Or you could see it coming over. So I remember when that came in, and I don't know, it was just, I think somebody, this kind of guy that I'd seen in relatively small gigs up until then, and then suddenly this was just something so massive. And like we say, I don't think you ever get your head around just the size of it.
Yeah.
Like, the aerial photos are just incredible. Absolutely amazing.
But the only bad point was obviously getting out of the car park for us at the end.
Yeah. I mean, I before you say that, I had been to Glastonbury a couple of times before this. So I was kind of, obviously the amount of people's more in the whole place, but you don't get 125,000 people stood in front of one stage. So I was kind of used to those big crowds and, getting in and out. But we never really had too much of a problem getting in and out of Glastonbury.
No, we didn't at Knebworth either, really. We managed to get out to the bar and the toilet's okay, didn't we?
No, I meant the car park. Sorry.
Oh, the car park. Oh.
Which is what you were about to just
God,
go
the car
on to.
Park. Yeah. Oh, the car park was an absolute, total and utter nightmare. So as I said, our friend Star went in one direction and we went in another. I had a Robbie Williams car park sticker actually stuck on my windscreen, which you were supposed to have, whereas I think Star just had his laid on the dashboard. Anyway, they obviously thought, if she's actually stuck hers on, we'll send her to the furthest car park that's the most difficult to get out of, because she's obviously a big fan, so she can deal with it.
Sure, that's got nothing to do.
Well, I wonder. And so, at the end, he was home by 11 p.m. because he lived in Watford or something. He was at least 11:30. He was out straight away and then home within half an hour. And we got out of the car park at 4:15 in the morning.
Oh my God.
To the point that...
Yeah, we were there basically all night.
Yeah. So everyone else in the car went to sleep while I sat there waiting for something to happen. I was driving. And then eventually when things started moving around us and everyone started turning on their engines and moving, because everyone was asleep mostly, two of the cars next to me, one of the people woke up, freaked out that people were moving, turned their engine on, started moving, and they drove into the car in front of them.
Oh my God.
That's not what you need.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, I missed all of that because I think from memory, we had a hotel, like I say, we had a hotel, and I think we just ended up walking back to it because it was actually quicker.
Yeah.
And I think we'd left the car at the hotel, and I remember we walked, because I remember the Sunday we stayed until the Monday morning, and then because I got the train, I think, back in the end.
Yeah.
So I missed all of that.
Oh, you're lucky.
But wow.
And then I was
That's
absolutely
mental.
exhausted driving home, because it must have been up, because I think we didn't get home till about 6 a.m. So I'd been up 24 hours. And then as we were just driving home, I got to the last roundabout near where we lived, and I just kept going at the roundabout. I actually forgot to slow down and look to see if anything was coming. I was so exhausted. Thankfully, there was nothing coming, but as I turned off the roundabout, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even stop at that roundabout. Yeah, it could have been bad. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why we now have hotels,
Yes,
you see.
exactly. That's why I don't do things like that anymore.
No.
I remember we did something similar for Milton Keynes. We drove at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
to then get in the queue, and then I remember us sat in a car park or muddy field for a very long time, trying to get out again. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the one thing that puts me off ever doing Knebworth again, the car park.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Well, when we watched the DVD, there were some people camping nearby, and I was like, oh my God, although you don't like camping, that's got to be a bit more pleasant, because at least you can just go and collapse in your tent afterwards.
Yeah.
And then maybe get out when it's a bit quieter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a challenge. Well done, Lucy, for doing all that driving.
Yeah, well done.
We all
Lucy.
appreciated it when we were asleep in the car.
Well, I think I remember that you saying, well, I'll only get up and go early at like 7 a.m. or something when we got there. If you drive. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll drive because I want to be there early. So that's why I drove.
It was a good deal.
So Matt was drinking beer.
And I think that's about the time we went on the first day, and then I think on the Sunday we were so tired. By the time we got back to the hotel, we're like, we're not going to go as early, so we ended up going about an hour later.
Yeah,
and we still got exactly the same spot we had the night before.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
But which was obviously before it went absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But I did repay you with a rubbish step.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean the rubbish step is
Rubbish step.
I mean, I'd like you to recreate that. Maybe in Germany, we can see that.
Well, it has been recreated, and I did have this idea. No, I won't say my idea because I don't reveal that to everyone. But
I look forward to it.
Anyway, yes, there might have to be one in Germany when we go over because that's going to be even bigger.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll be nearish so that we can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've probably talked enough, haven't we? Do you have any more to say on Knebworth?
I don't think so.
No.
Your story kind of trumped it, Lucy, with the Portaloos.
Oh God,
I'm done.
Yeah. We didn't talk much about the show itself, but that's all right. We talked about.
I feel like we've talked a lot about it purely because of the album.
Yeah,
we have.
I think we've all of those hits that they've done there.
Well, obviously,
and I think a lot of of course, and I think a lot of people have obviously seen the DVD, or most people have seen the DVD anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think you were annoyed that you weren't there on the Mark Owen night.
I was annoyed that I'd missed.
Yeah, it was
Mark
great.
Owen.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm jealous of that. Very jealous.
But incredible concert. We try and forget about the car parking nightmare, but it's still there. Thank you, Robbie. I know it's not your fault.
Also, I did keep the Robbie Williams car parking sticker in my car for the next 9 years. Yes, until I had sold it, and then I had to scrape
it was welded
off.
to the windscreen, baked to the windscreen.
I thought you were going to say it was in the wardrobe with the carpet collection.
If she could have scraped it off without it all breaking into 1,000 pieces, then yes, we'd have kept it.
She would have.
But
Yeah.
I think we tried and it just wasn't working.
I was there for about 2 hours scraping that off. Anyway, we need to pick our favourite song from Escapology to put on our playlist.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if someone might make this easier for me because...
Well, I know
so I
what
don't want to
I'm
go
picking.
first.
It was a very,
I know what
very
I'm picking.
hard choice.
Okay, you two go first then.
I think I found this the hardest choice, but in the end I thought, no, just going to go with that one because it is epic and it deserves to be on the playlist. And that's Feel. Because of the video. It has to be on the YouTube playlist. And it is just an incredible song with, such heartfelt lyrics. You can't not include it. It's just incredible. So yeah.
You want more people to see the video?
Yeah. Get it up to 300 million views. Yeah.
That's just Lucy by herself.
Yeah.
Watching it.
Katie, what would you like to pick?
So I think mine's going to be very obvious.
Oh yes, of course.
A song that also reminds me of Knebworth as well, but it's Come Undone.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Of course it is.
Of course. And that has made it easier for me because it was a toss-up for me between Come Undone and Revolution. So I'm going to pick Revolution. Yeah, probably not necessarily everyone's favourite, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Well, it's nice to have
think
one
that's
a bit different.
I think that's 3 very strong choices
Yeah.
from that album.
It is.
Good.
So thanks for listening. Tune into the next episode when we'll be discussing the B-sides from Escapology with Rhiannon from Australia.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, just before we wrap up this episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out. And also, Lucy and I would really appreciate it if you can leave us a star rating. You can do this on both Apple and Spotify podcasts. We would also love it if you could write us a short review, and you can do this on Apple. Don't forget, You can check out our episode notes for each episode and links to all tracks and videos at robbiewilliamsrewind.com. You can also email us at email@robbiewilliamsrewind.com. Please also follow and chat on our social channels. It's at RewindRobbie on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also like and follow our Facebook page, Robbie Williams Rewind. And before we return to this episode, you might also consider sending us one of your own Robbie stories for the show. Just record a short audio clip on your phone and email it to us. Please check the website for more details. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
Great. So thank you very much for joining us again, Katie.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me again.
Yeah. It's been lovely to relive it with you. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we relive lots of memories with you because we've been with you for a lot of them as well. But I think, yeah, Escapology and Knebworth in particular is special. So, and it's lovely to hear from you, who was right at the front for that as well.
Yeah, it's been great to talk about it, and yeah, you guys have got some great stories, so thanks for sharing.
Try not to moan all the time. Cool. Well, thank you very much, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you, and bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.